Welcome to the Enrich Minds podcast, where you can come to get your dose of information, inspiration, and maybe just a smile. That being said, we gotta talk. We do.
Yeah, we do.
Who are we talking to today?
It's a lot.
The Capoeira Malês.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
In the house, we in the building.
Yeah.
Welcome, guys.
Yes.
Glad to have you.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it, bro.
Glad to be here.
Appreciate it, bro.
Glad to be here. Glad to be here.
What the fuck is Capoeira, man?
Wait a minute.
I saw a movie back in the early 90s.
Only the
And
strong.
I'm a high school student. Only the strong. Only the strong.
That's right.
And this substitute teacher took on a whole goddamn Miami street cocaine gang. Okay?
He single-handed, and he dismantled the whole damn. He dismantled the whole cartel
By himself.
with Capoeira. Yeah, he did. And so that was my introduction to. I never heard of this shit prior. to that.
But he dismantled a whole cocaine gang. And he was a capoeista. And he did these goddamn cartwheels and tornado kicks and shit. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Is that what you guys do?
You know what, man? I gotta tell you this. There's a lot of misconceptions about what capoeira is and what capoeira isn't. But I'll tell you this. First and foremost, capoeira is a martial art.
Okay, I mean, I saw that with the goddamn karate chops.
Yeah,
the back chops and kicks.
but the misleading part that I wanted to emphasize is that because there's a dance element to it, because there's an acrobatic element to it, for the uninitiated, it hides the fact that it's actually a lethal martial art.
Oh, well, I saw the kicks, man. You know, and you get caught with one of them. I mean, it's definitely not ballet.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, I definitely get that it's lethal. Have you ever had to use it in a street way?
Well, you know, the interesting thing about capoeira, I can't speak for all my brothers here.
Yeah.
I'm going to say what my piece, and then, of course, they're going to say what they have to say. However, me,
Everybody's
when I started training martial arts, my original sensei was and a sensei is a teacher in karate.
Okay.
He was a Vietnam veteran, and so he always taught. he was
Was a shell shot?
in a matter of speaking. See, like when I started teaching, his thing was he would sit us down in class and he would say, "Listen, my unit in Vietnam, we could identify each other by smell in the jungles." That's what he said, man. And
But
now
wait,
listen,
wait.
you talk about an 18-year-old kid who's sitting there mesmerized listening to this, like,
And this motherfucker ain't a Navy SEAL.
No.
Or an Army Ranger. Any
None
of
of that. No
but they
Green
identify
Beret.
by smell.
by smell, my unit.
Through the gunpowder and the bomb powder and all that.
And the
shit.
jungle,
whole
natural
unit.
jungle speed, exactly. All the natural
The
jungle
whole
smells.
unit.
You understand? So I'm sitting there as an 18-year-old naive kid, soaking it all in.
Okay.
It wasn't just that; it was the martial art lessons. We would sit down after class, for example, and we would read Bible verses.
All right.
Because the martial arts school I trained under was called First Christian Martial Arts.
So we incorporate the Lord.
Lord Jesus Christ.
Every punch was a blessing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what happened was this. He would teach us to have control.
Okay.
In class, we would wild out. But in the public venue, we're supposed to have control.
Yeah.
So me personally, I never have used my martial arts skill in a street fight.
Well,
Because
I mean,
never-
I'm not saying to attack. I mean, maybe
No.
defend yourself.
But I'm just saying I've never had to use it in that context because from the beginning, I was trained to control myself, to show restraint. Now, you know, older folks always say this. They always say, do as I say, not as I do.
Okay.
So Sensei Alvarez had to tell us a story about when he was in a Christian bookstore and some ruffian came up in there, right? And he said, class, I'm going to teach y'all a valuable lesson about this. He was escorting the guy out because I guess he appeared to be starting some trouble. The guy decided to hit my sensei or try to hit my sensei with a back fist. And in slow motion, my sensei said, thank you, Jesus. Praise the Lord for that. For opportunity to whoop ass. So he in that motion of do as I say, not as I do.
Okay.
But he always taught us to show restraint. And so for me as an 18-year-old kid witnessing what my teacher was bestowing upon us, I said, you know what? I got to be like that in the sense of discipline, self-control. That's what martial arts were for me.
What about you, Ray?
Yeah, see, the thing with training martial arts is that it gives you like this insulation of confidence that allows you to walk around where like two predators run into each other on the street. You know what I mean? Lions and tigers are not in the same like geographic location, but at the same time, a tiger runs into a lion, he looks at the lion and says, yo,
So he
I
not
probably
gonna
kick.
fuck with him.
No, he probably goes, I could kick his ass today, but I might lose an ear or an eye. Am I in the mood for that?
Well, yeah,
Do I
it's
want
not
to be
easy
handicapped?
target.
Right. So
So
what
you
happens
saying-
when you train martial arts, you develop a certain amount of confidence
You
about
exude
yourself.
it.
Right.
Okay.
You also make better decisions. You ain't gonna walk down a dark alley when you know sometimes it just don't make sense.
The hyenas in that
Yeah,
motherfucker.
you are so aware as a martial artist
That's
that
right.
it literally you step each step very carefully in your life,
That's
and,
right.
and as a result, the path is like a clear path most of the time.
What about you, David? When you gotta come down, you gotta sit on the couch. Hold on, you gotta sit. There you go.
Man, my brother, I think Sega just said it, man. Listen, I use capoeira every single day of my life.
Yes.
Not
As
necessarily
a defense.
as a defense, but also as an attack. It's,
Okay.
it's the way I live my life. It's the way I approach things. You know what I mean? So the other day, I'm walking to the gym to go work out, and I told these guys a story. I'm walking to the gym, and this homeless dude, just as I'm walking by him, my man tries to, like tap my stomach. Just reacted naturally.
You gotta talk to the mic.
Sorry, put my elbow out naturally, deflected.
Got it.
My man was like, yo! The point is, I'm being trained, and you don't even realize it when you're going through the process. I'm being trained to be a machine that can handle any situation.
Reflexively.
Reflexively.
Got it.
Now, it could have gotten worse, but my job at that point was just to show him, dude, don't fuck with people you don't know. Like,
Restraint. Exactly.
do that.
Restraint. Yeah.
and that's the point. So the capoeira for me, man, is very simple. I use it every day
Yes.
with getting motivated. I use it every day with making my mind stronger. I use it every day to get better at, well, this is what I got to work on, music,
Okay.
right, which we haven't even gotten into. But
The music of capoeira?
man, capoeira is a spiritual experience. When you really get into capoeira,
I
when
agree.
you really get into it, it's a spiritual transition.
I watched you guys' classes yesterday. Well, the class yesterday. What was it called? Bachazado. I watched the Bachazado yesterday, and I got that kind of feeling of a brotherhood. Vic, have you used capoeira to knock somebody out? Well, I know you did. I know you tested the shit out in the streets. In some capacities, you tested the shit out on somebody.
How you come to that conclusion? How do you come to that conclusion about me?
I gotta hear one. No, wait. Now, Vic, how long you been doing capoeira?
Since 2001.
Okay, that's how many years? That's 18 years.
Yeah, bro.
How many times have you tested that shit outside of the academy?
I am going to preface this by saying I'm a work in progress. My brothers, like you said, beautiful man. Beautiful. I aspire to be like that. I really do.
So let me ask you this. So you confirm that it works, is what you're telling me.
Yes.
Got it.
Gleefully almost
I am
several
going to tell
times.
you how it works, right?
Okay.
So, what I understand about us as melanated people in general, what we share is this thing called a rhythm. When you look at a basketball player, a good point guard, why can that motherfucker shake and bake like that? Because he has rhythm. Allen Iverson, he has a rhythm. He can dance, right? When you look at Barry Sanders as a football player, as a running back, the juke, right? Marshawn Lynch, the juke, right? Is that rhythm that we all share as melanated people, right?
Got
The
it.
thing with somebody like Floyd Mayweather, what makes him so amazing is that he can improvise, right? And that is what we share before even choosing a martial art to do. Nigga, you already got that. like, nigga, you born with that.
So somebody just directs that rhythm into a martial art or some other skill,
Yes.
and you become super effective at it.
Yes, he become a Super Saiyan basically.
Bam.
It's like when you understand that rhythm is what we have as people. One nation.
So
Under a groove, getting down just for the funk.
One nation under a groove, and you can't stop us now.
Think about what the fuck was going on at that time period to black people in America. God damn.
At which time period?
Crack. The 60s, the 70s, like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
When they're during the funk movement, right? During the funk movement, right? We dancing, but goddamn, we getting persecuted. But we still found a way to dance and have that rhythm, right? So with capoeira in particular, it is about using that rhythm and then going offbeat. So one day me and one of the boys, right? He was training with us, a cat named Minetto. We walking down the street. It's like 3 in the morning. Drunk. Listen, at 3 in the morning ain't nothing good going on in the street. Ain't shit Washington, D.C., upper Northwest, where like the wealth is just like astronomical. We're talking about $16 million houses in the particular neighborhood. So we walking down the street, right? And there's another cat just like us, right? Poor dude. I mean, in hindsight, right? Motherfucker just like us, drunk, you know, and he walks.
Don't
Right?
tell me you finally crashed up.
He walks through my board like whoa, like he wasn't there. And my man like, yo. And Cat turned around. So when he turned around, the rhythm. See, he wasn't. I was very in tune with the rhythm at that point. Man, I punched that motherfucker. And before he we gotta go. That nigga out. He's dead. Hey, I ain't watched the body drop, man. I ain't watched the body drop, bro. Fucking bad.
So he tested it in an offensive manner. Like have you ever had to test it in a defensive manner?
Well, yeah. So in my opinion, offense is defense.
Well, that's not true. Those who strike first are not on defense.
No, time out. Because my thing is this, right? People have this fucking notion of what a fight actually is. Ain't no rules in a fight.
Well, we're not talking about rules, but we're saying a defensive move is to block.
No,
not an offensive
no,
move. No. But follow me. Look, listen. Let me finish.
Okay.
If I do like this, I'm not attacking anybody. That's not offense.
Yeah, but a defensive move in capoeira turns into an offensive move.
No, wait a minute. You said it turns into. Yeah. So you're saying a fluid motion. So you're saying a defensive move will turn into a counter.
So, no. Hold on.
Yeah.
If we're talking about preservation of life, we saying if this motherfucker knocks you out, he might piss on you.
No, I'm with you, but here's what I'm saying. Okay, listen. Okay, the only karate teacher that I'm familiar with is Mr. Miyagi. Okay, and he teaches the wax on, wax off.
So
no, let me finish. Okay. The wax on, wax off. I did the same shit Daniel did. I went and waxed the cars too, pretty much. Okay, so because I want to learn. Whoa. So the waxing is not for me to strike. It's for when somebody's punching at me. There's no way I'm going to wax punch somebody, right? Just listen. A wax on or the wax off. That's not an attack.
But
okay. So the difference between me and you, is that I find I define an offensive movement differently.
How do you define it?
What I'm saying is, if a motherfucker crosses that line, at that point it's all rules off.
So basically what you're saying is strike first is defense.
Whether he hits me first or I hit him first, the line has already been crossed.
Red.
And time, one more thing. Some things you can't defend against.
True.
Now, the background knowledge on me. I grew up in Oakland, California at the height of the crack epidemic.
Okay.
I'm saying mama's on drugs, grandmama on drugs. Like crazy shit.
Okay.
And in Oakland, dude, the crazy shit like this is this like when you see trouble, you can't cross the street. The trouble is on both sides of the street. So you have to have the ability to recognize, okay, what is this situation right now?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Because some things I can't defend against. If you pull a gun out and boom, I'm going to do this. Against the gun? No, I gotta fucking hit you first.
Yes, I understand.
I gotta neutralize the situation. So that's what I'm saying. You know, in terms of martial arts and awareness, the big part about the awareness is, okay, what is the situation right now? Is this a situation in which I must preserve my life? Because if so, I'm not gonna wait for him to first.
What he's basically talking about is the position that a lot of countries take when it comes to, for instance, nuclear armament.
Yes.
So you have one country that stockpiles weapons, right?
Yeah.
And then another country in response will stockpile weapons as a deterrent.
Well, defense.
Right.
Gotta be able to fight back.
Right. But the defense is offense.
Well,
in
yeah,
the
but
sense,
here's what I'm saying. You might own a gun.
Right.
You own a gun in case someone tries to attack you and your family to protect yourself against the gun.
Right.
But offensively with a gun is particularly what a robber does. Okay, he uses a gun to get paid. But I understand what Vic is saying. Vic is saying striking first is a form of defense because they are about to strike, and we have to strike first to neutralize the threat.
And so, but what I'm saying in the sense of nuclear armament, for example, like they have war games that are played, and the idea behind the war games is anticipating your adversary's offensive movement. Right. And so the whole idea about nuclear armament, for instance, is a deterrent against their strike first philosophy.
I understand totally.
So what I'm saying is that the United States versus Russia, for instance, or the Soviet Union at that time, the idea is, well, we're going to stockpile weapons and we're going to put on display our ability to deliver this nuclear warhead and an intercontinental ballistic missile to any destination on Russian soil.
But yeah,
so
but
just the idea,
they're not attacking somebody.
they're not. But I'm saying the idea.
He's talking about attacking the motherfucker.
Well, no. Just hear me out.
Yeah.
What I'm saying.
If the person's a threat.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
You strike first as a form of defense.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, so the idea was, whether it was the Star Wars system that Reagan dreamed up or whatever it is, the idea was that if you even make a move towards us aggressively, we can send missiles across continents
The
and fuck you up.
demonstration. Yeah. No, it's just like making an example out of somebody in the street. So let me ask you this: how many of you guys had been in the martial arts prior to capoeira?
I think most of us, but I've been in martial arts.
What form did you study prior to capoeira?
So I studied, the form was Wing Chun Kung Fu, and but we fought free weight, Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do style. I trained with this guy named Pedro Tweed in New York.
Okay.
He was a gymnastic coach.
How long did you train that prior to capoeira?
That was years. I was in high school. I think it was maybe 90s, early 90s.
No, but
it was years before that. But also for me, Bruce Lee was our. I watched a lot of drive-in theater kung fu movies. I'm product of the 70s. You know what I'm saying? So I've been into martial arts since I was a kid. Whether it was running around doing stuff in the fields and then actually getting into a formal class. I've been doing martial arts my whole life.
Understand. David, what about you? Prior to capoeira, did you train martial arts?
No, I was involved in sports, a lot of other sports, man.
Okay. What about you, Vic?
It's crazy because when I look at my childhood, like me and my little brother, we all met. Big guy, right? We used to box each other. Like no boxing gloves, anything like that, but just basically you have to put your foot in the square on the sidewalk, and you can't move that foot. You got to stay inside and body shot. That's what we did as kids for fun, right?
Okay.
We both would get bruised up. Like as children, like, and once again, how do you define what a martial art is? There are lots of things that are martial art in terms of martial skill, in terms of honing your ability to defend yourself.
Well, I just meant like a traditional form prior to capoeira.
We can afford that shit.
Right? No, but listen. Vice is one of my best friends. I know a lot about his background. Vice's parents couldn't afford it necessarily either, but Vice found a way to make it happen. They made him catch a bus from here in Glendale, clean across to
3 hours. 3 hours bus ride.
And what I'm gonna tell you is, there's level being able to afford shit.
I'm from the bottom. I was homeless. Me and my mom was both homeless multiple times. So I understand it. I couldn't play sports. I could barely eat. You understand? And so I understand that totally. So what I want to ask you guys is this: transitioning into capoeira, which is a Brazilian form of martial arts. Afro-Brazilian.
Brazilian. I have to say that. I'm sorry. I get mad when people say that because I'm an African from Sierra Leone, born. I wasn't raised in Sierra Leone, but I came here when I was 7. And I have to tell you that as an African, unfortunately, the world looks at the continent as being secondary when it's actually the primary for most of the civilization that we call advanced today.
Agreed. That continent has how many countries?
They claim 50 states or something like that. That's what they claim.
No, more than 50 states. They got more countries, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah, but states. Oh, sorry. Okay.
With over 2,000 languages.
Yeah, that's what I was about to
Which
say.
is actually a problem, but that's another story.
Well, yeah. So okay. So you guys' magistrate is Afro-Brazilian.
Yes.
And he was born and raised in Brazil.
Yes.
And this is who you guys trained under.
Yes.
So what was the was there a large difference from you guys' prior training to what he trained you guys to do?
Well, first of all, he didn't know he was Afro-Brazilian until he met us. Break it down, man.
Yes.
Yes. So again, Brazil, and it's no secret, we know that they have an issue with the color with Africans, you know, in terms of like they have 18 different races over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Such as everywhere.
Right, but I mean,
Mexico,
Brazil is deep. So you know, you have people come over here from Brazil really thinking that they're Brazilian, or like Dominicans come here thinking they're Dominicans. They come,
And they're separate from black
They come
people.
to America and they realize you a nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Their skin
You know what I'm
color
saying?
is our complexion or
Yeah,
darker.
So,
Go ahead.
so anyway, because of that,
you can talk about it.
and the good thing is, you know, he was very good about it. You know what I'm saying? When he came here, he couldn't have met a better bunch of people than us. And you know, being that we were coming to capoeira from an Afro perspective, because all of us came from like, you know, like deep, you know, like black pride cultures. You know what I'm saying? Me being Jamaican, you know, my dad being, you know, a big fan of Castro and all that stuff going on back in the days, and you know, it kind of taught us how to like be a survivalist. You know what I'm saying?
So what was so you're saying that your masquerade had to learn he was Afro-Brazilian.
Yeah.
So how did this affect the way he embraced you guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yes.
In which way?
So basically, even in terms of how he spoke was completely different until he met us. See, first of all, we didn't get into capoeira to make any money.
Right.
We didn't get into this thing because we wanted to be stars and performers.
Right.
We just love fucking martial arts.
Okay.
And this particular martial
So it
art.
wasn't a way to learn how to defend yourself. Or
Nah, we already
So audience needs to know this.
So basically, we came into capoeira as mature men already. Well, you know,
How old were you?
I was 25 when I started.
How old were you, Dad?
I was 32, 33.
Yeah, that was last year. No. How old was you, Brian?
I was 19, 20 at that cusp.
Okay.
And I was 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you think about what a person goes through in life, first of all, to make it to 25 from that time period meant that you've been in some wars. You've lost
Some
some
people.
fights.
Everybody had it.
Not everybody, but I'm just saying, like in terms of
Some people stayed inside.
That's true. And listen, I was inside too, playing video games and fucking Super Nintendo, all that shit. But guess what? You gotta go outside at some point.
That's right.
Right? And so that being said, like as a kid growing up, I lost more fights than I won. Right? I got my ass whooped. I mean, jumped, all kind of shit, fucking knocked out, fucking like goddamn, come home with black eyes. Listen, dude, I used to fucking run home to practice running.
I know a guy that became a track star because he ran so much.
Right. And then grandma's, boy, why you tired? I'm running. Why? Practicing. You know what I'm saying?
So how did it affect Masquerade's embracement of you guys?
So what I'm saying is, when he met us, we were already mature men. So for me, as a profession, I do IT. I'm a computer scientist. I'm good at that shit.
Okay.
Right? You know, Mercedes had already had a motherfucking goddamn successful restaurant. You know, Gabriel, he's a fucking damn near PhD historian. Right? So we were already mature men with a stable life. Right?
And what was Masquerade? I mean, how did what was the clash?
I'm gonna break down. First, we got to talk about the connection and how that happened.
Right.
Because we were all training capoeira. We all had a love for capoeira. However, we were separate. And the thing that most people don't understand about the art is that capoeira is based around schools, academies. That's how the art is organized. So when you look like so for example,
That's pretty much all martial arts, right? Like what's the brothers down in Torrance? The
Gracies,
yeah.
I mean,
So all of them,
to a degree.
yeah.
But capoeira is unique in one respect, is that we all practice one martial art, right? Capoeira. Being organized under a school means everything in this way, because if you are, let's say, a capoeirista, the way that we identify each other is, first of all, what's your name? Second of all, who's your mestre? Who's your teacher?
turn the mic to you so you can talk into the mic.
Second of all, who's your mestre? Who's your teacher? Third of all, what's your group?
Right.
So this is how we separate real from fake. When we're talking to a capoeirista, let's say we meet somebody who says they train capoeira. Oh yeah? Who do you train with? That's the first question. You can't answer that. We looking at you skeptical off the top.
Okay.
Second, who's your
Put those on
teacher?
so you can hear yourself talk, because you got to stay in the mic.
Second, who's your teacher? If you can't identify who your teacher is, that's another way we're gonna say separation from real and fake.
Talking to the mic.
You're fake. if you can't identify a teacher, you're fake.
So it's all connected.
Of course. And then the third thing, if you can't say what your school is, we like, no, because in capoeira, because it's an obscure martial art, it's not something that's in the mainstream. So
Okay.
we have a tight circle and we have a tight association with everybody in the country.
So everybody pretty much knows each other. Or
For the most
school
part.
or the
For
academy.
the most part.
Okay.
So it's good in one way. It's a small circle, but it's bad in one because it leaves an opening for charlatans,
Okay.
fake people to come in and be like, "Oh yeah, I do capoeira
But
too."
that's all martial arts.
Right.
everything.
I follow a page, McDojo Live is full of that.
But in capoeira, it's interesting. Again, as an obscure art, you have people that'll say, "Oh yeah, I train capoeira." They watch some videos, not even
Yeah, it's
YouTube.
everything, yeah.
Right. So what I'm saying is, what I'm saying in capoeira that what's important and unique about this art is we identify through our schools.
Yeah.
Okay. So through the specific academy,
Yes.
that's basically the what's vouching for you.
Your academy, your teacher,
And if somebody doesn't have that, then you're not
no
authentic.
man,
Not
we're gonna
authentic.
be like, oh okay.
So are there variations of capoeira? So I know it originated in Brazil,
In Africa,
originated in Africa and then traveled to Brazil.
Yes.
And so the Brazilians who you're learning under now.
Yes.
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 And so is there a difference between Brazilian capoeira and American?
Yeah, I love that you mentioned that. That's a caveat to like the experience that we're actually having now. We are estrangeiros de capoeira.
What does that mean?
Estrangeiros like a foreigner.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We were the capoeira that was brought to us. I'm not by our mestre particularly, but I've seen situations where we're in workshops and we're taught like frivolous stuff, like fluff. You know,
Okay,
taught
got
the
it,
depth
got it.
of the art form because a lot of people didn't come here to teach let capoeira like literally run free. They came here to trick the gringo, get a few dollars in their pockets.
So
You know
what
what I'm saying?
what you're saying is they're trying to they're trying to hold back what they're giving to the Americans.
In the past, that's what we've seen. I think that was and not even hold back really in martial arts because capoeira has this thing called malandragem.
Malandaji.
Malandragem.
What
There's a
is-
D.
Malandragem.
Yeah,
What is
malandragem.
that?
It comes from the act of malandro, which is like a thief or a underworld figure. So malandragem is a lot of trickery, what we call
Okay.
street savvy. You
Okay.
know, like that dude runs up on you.
What
and-
language is that? Brazilian?
It's Brazilian Portuguese.
Okay,
yeah,
Portuguese,
that-
okay.
yeah. So the Brazilians pride themselves on that, and capoeira is that too because capoeira we had to hide the art form. We had to disguise it using this malandragem, this malice,
Why?
because
Disguise it from who?
it was illegal in the past. So capoeira, the roots of what Gavian was saying earlier in reference to how we recognize a capoeira through your group, through your mastery, right?
Okay.
It goes if your lineage pretty much needs to go back to the quilombolas, the guys who were
So basically, it's like being Italian.
Yeah.
Your roots have to go back to
Sicily,
Italy.
right back to Sicily,
Or you can't be made.
You ain't made.
Got it. Okay.
So
Okay.
a lot of the capoeira groups today come straight out of that. You know,
Got it.
whether they come now from a lineage of Mestre Bimba, Mestre Pastinha, names that we can throw out. Mestres that were of the past who had schools, who taught techniques, who
Okay.
taught ways to sing, ways to set the bateria, ways to do things, and that's what capoeira today has become like like that's what is depicted today. Like
Yeah.
that's what the organized capoeira is from these guys today.
So let me ask you this: what effect did capoeira have on you guys as men?
Oh my God! The truth, listen, I'm married to a capoeirista. My daughter's
Okay.
a capoeirista. All my best friends are capoeiristas. Because I have had so many experiences before capoeira. I played soccer at Howard University in DC. You know, I'm a good athlete. All of us are very good athletes. You look at us, you can see we're a specimen. We're in our 40s. My wife is so funny. She always says, the 40-year-olds I take care of, the medical field don't look like that.
They're a little bit more rotund.
Missing teeth and all kinds of shit. They don't. But I'm just saying, you know, all of us, we have more than everything. I mean, Izzo said it earlier when he was like, think about what you are as a black man, a black person, right? Listen,
So the capoeira had an effect on that.
Yes,
Okay.
because listen, the hunt in Africa, the Middle Passage, colonization, Jim Crow, Bill Clinton, crack cocaine in the 90s, 80s, you know, those type of things, and you survive and you're born and you now have abilities, and then you are now shown how to hone skills. And that's what capoeira is. Capoeira is, when I first saw capoeira, man, the words that came to my mind was, do these people know the power of this art form that they're doing? This is not just It's a universal thing, man. It's connected to like the soul of mankind. When I think of capoeira,
all you guys agree with that?
yeah,
I'm telling you.
I don't think capoeira is just purely because I feel like we're a human being. And when I talk to people about martial arts, I say, listen, since the beginning of time, whichever crevice of the world we've been at, man, woman has always said, hey, you got something I want to take it from you. I start popping you across the head. I start hitting you up, stealing your rocks, your produce, your woman, your man, your cattle. Somebody says no, runs out there with a stick and starts wheeling. Martial arts is born. Martial arts is not. Martial arts is a human concept.
So how did it help you as a man?
Oh man,
Specifically.
discipline, control,
Yes.
balance.
Yes.
We are men, we must chase something.
We lead by example.
We lead by, listen, you are capoeira, we say capoeira is chasing perfection that you will never get to, but the ride is so much more fun than anything else, and you're so much more better off than others who are not doing this thing. I'm never bored. Never bored.
Listen, human beings are built to be purpose driven. We are wired. We are wired from birth to be purpose driven. And capoeira gives us that purpose. It gives us that ability to hone that innate wiring into something positive. Self-development, sharpening a skill set. And you can take all those abilities and apply it to not just training. You can apply it to life. You can apply it to relationships.
Well, that's what I'm asking you.
Yeah.
So I'm asking you specifically, how did capoeira help you as a man?
Listen, man, I'm gonna tell you in 3 different ways. It helped me as a man in terms of getting my mental state together,
That's one.
in terms of getting my financial state together,
Doesn't help.
and in terms of getting my female state together. My female estate together. You understand what I'm saying?
I told
Them
you
hits
my
in that
wife's
bed is all capoeira. That flexibility in the bed, all capoeira. You understand?
Tony, let me just say this, man. My teacher, Country Mr. Masego, always says, man, he always breaks it down. He says, capoeira will literally break you down to who you are. It'll filter through to the purest form of who you are, and that's what makes it so amazing.
That's what Ren was telling me yesterday. So David, are you saying you found yourself through capoeira?
Actually, I would say I found the real self in capoeira. Yeah.
Your real
My
self.
real self in capoeira. Yeah.
Got it. How long
as an African male, black male? Yes, that's what. Yeah.
How long did it take you to reach that point? From the minute, because I'm assuming you didn't join capoeira to find yourself. It's just something that occurred.
No, capoeira. I joined capoeira because it attracted me. There was the dance, there was the fight, which frankly I didn't know because I saw the movie Only the Strong, and that was my introduction to capoeira. What I noticed about it though was the fluidity of which they moved. It moved me.
Got it.
It moved me because you had to be somebody on a higher level to be able to dance and still kick somebody's ass at the same time.
Got it. Yeah, that's
pretty,
what I find is unique about that martial art.
That's some other world type shit, man. I always talk about the spiritual shit. This is what I don't think.
So I want to say this. I'm an outsider. Gavion and I have known each other for 11 years, and we've been close that entire time. But yesterday was my first time seeing everything in action. I had never came to his class. I never saw anything because Gavion teaches a class here in Glendale or in Atwater Village. Yeah. And so yesterday was my first time, and you know, of course, seeing all you guys in unison doing the music, and you know, had us involved in the clapping, which was the audience. I was a part of the audience, and what I saw from the outside looking in is it's a spiritual brotherhood that I don't know if everybody that's in capoeira is aware of, but I can see it in everybody's eyes. And I got a lot of footage of it. And people are a part of this. If they were seeking to be a part of something, they found it in capoeira, or especially they found it in Gavion's class. And it's something that I was speaking with someone about earlier. It's unbreakable, because even though some people might get out of capoeira, it's a bond that's forever there because the capoeira seems to be so important to you guys.
Yeah, it's the thing that brings us. Listen, I stopped training capoeira in the pursuit of my purpose. Right? Bless you, Solizu.
Hey, drink some of
In
that
the
water.
in the sense of my purpose, I took 5 years off of capoeira.
I remember.
5
I remember
years.
you started. I remember you were off and you started back.
And I started back. So
why
I'm saying,
why did you start back?
no, but to your point about the bonds, about the connection.
Okay.
Imagine you haven't talked to somebody for 5 years, no contact, nothing. And you call him on the phone, which is I called Contra Mestre Morcego. We started talking. And first he didn't even know who I was.
What?
He said, like, who is this? I said, it's G, man, it's Big G. He was like, Big G, Big G, Big G. I said, this got me on his rice.
Come on, man.
And he was like, oh shit, man. And we started talking. We talked for maybe like 15, 20 minutes. And he was like, you know what, man? I miss that laugh, man. I miss that laugh. I miss you. This is after reconnecting, 5 years gap. But we picked up the conversation as if it never got left off.
Because of that spirit, I see it's a spiritual bond.
That's what I'm saying.
Even with the children in your class.
Yeah.
So and that was confirmed when the parents stood up and made individual statements.
Right.
And the post dinner.
Yeah.
Where people really feel as if capoeira is important to their children's lives.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, like I'm gonna say this right. In terms of how capoeira helped me as a man develop, I'm an interesting person because I have some thoughts that are completely fucking off base, and I don't have all the answers. But I really
that's important.
right.
But they're often right.
Like I really believe that you are born with everything you need to navigate this fucking space. I believe you're born with that shit. I think for me personally, capoeira helped me recognize what we have, right? So Contra Mestre, right? He mentioned Mestre. I'm just gonna call you guys Mestre. Mestre, he mentioned that word malandragem, right? And so with that in capoeira, what makes capoeira an incredibly difficult martial art is because it's not direct.
Right.
It's indirect. I don't want to fucking make you run into my foot. I don't want to kick you. I
just want to put it
I want
there.
to put my foot here and then you run into it.
Understand.
Right? That's what I want to do.
Okay.
That's the fucking best thing. When you can fucking play a motherfucker in a goddamn game and then all of a sudden they're like, oh shit. They see their life before their eyes. They could have got knocked out. But I have knocked you out, nigga.
So how many of you guys have married out of?
So let me go on. So let me go on. I'm still on the mic. Let me go.
Take the stage, man.
I'm gonna dance your last. I'm gonna go look at my first. I met my wife in capoeira.
Right
I
on.
bumped this because I also took time off. I took time off because I went to Washington D.C. to pursue a career in IT, right? And at a certain point, while training capoeira, I saw other people coming through the studio, like advancing their life. I said, shit, where am I going to be? Because I didn't get into this shit to make money, but I'm spending all my time here. So I said to myself, you know what? I need to take time off to go work on that. Me and this nigga, we got into it behind that. It's like, hey,
You and Ren?
yes,
We did too.
yes. He was like, nigga, you my man. You my boy.
So
what the fuck?
So Ren, real quick, not to get off subject, now I want to change the subject. Quick answer. Did you feel like he betrayed you?
Sort of, yeah. That was. It's not betrayal. It's like, dude, we carrying this rock together.
You're abandoning me.
Yeah, you can't drop this rock.
Got
Shit.
it. So
I
go
can't
ahead.
carry this shit myself. You know what I mean?
And for me, my thing was, bro, I'm with you, but listen, I see a future
I need money.
in which a nigga is going to be out here with no business. Bald head, you know what I'm saying? At the time, we all had long dreads when we met.
Hey, so he's bald head in the middle of the patches on the side.
Right? George Jefferson style. You know what I'm saying? At the time, like, we were known as the Dreadlocks Gang. We all had long dreads. We all wore black leather jackets. We were known as the Dreadlocks Crew in Capoeira, right? So I saw the future. I said, shit, this ain't gonna last.
So let me ask you. So yesterday, I can't remember who I was speaking with, and you told me about finding a wife that is a capoeista.
Yeah.
And you said, was it you, Ren? And someone said a capoeira was like a vetting process.
Yes. So, but hold on though. You still taking my mic. I gotta go back. so in terms My wife, the woman I met, the woman that I made a fucking public vow in the church in front of everybody, said that until I die, I'm your superhero, right? I met her after I came back to Capoeira. I walked in the studio, I saw a 6-foot woman with a fucking gold anklet on, and that shit caught my eye, like, God damn. Hallelujah. And years later, yes, that's my wife, and we have a daughter together, so that's what Capoeira. But you know, honestly though, bro, that's surface. On the surface, going back to what I said about in terms of we being born with everything we need, right? Here's my chance to dance my way out of my restrictions, right? Wanna be free there, up and down, hang up alleyway, right? Ready or not, here we come. Getting down on the one which we believe in. One nation under a roof, getting down on the good foot, right? That's what I'm saying. In terms of us as melanated people in this fucking white goddamn run shit. Hey, white man run shit right now. We might have run shit at one point, but right now, we're not white man run shit. I'm making homage. What I'm saying is, for us as black people, how we make it is by having that malandragem. I hate you, motherfucker. But you know what? I'm smiling.
Are you saying it's a form of therapy?
No,
where we can escape?
But not even therapy. I'm saying it's a form of survival.
Yeah, that's what
we had to smile in the face of the most fucked up conditions.
Got it.
Right? To make it in this world. And Capoeira also has that malandragem. So in terms of I don't want to strike you directly. I want to do some trickery and make you run to my shit in this world as we as black people navigate these jobs. As an employee, in most cases in the fields in which we work, we're the only black dude, right? I'm the only black man on my team, right? So I gotta navigate that shit. I gotta navigate employees who need to fucking listen to me, and also motherfucking higher ups, right? So how do I do that? I must use malandragem, because if I take the direct approach, I'm gonna be idealistic in the motherfucker and broke.
David, what did you have to say?
I think Vic just said it all, man.
Listen, in a couple of things Vic was saying. The first thing was that you had asked about finding your wives in capoeira, significant others in capoeira being a vetting process. The truth of the matter is, capoeira is described in Mestre Almeida, his Mestre Accordion wrote a book called it's called Capoeira Brazilian Art Form. And I recommend all capoeiristas read. It's just a little bit of literature. It's not like you got 10,000 books out here to read. There's 4 books or 5 books out there that make any sense anyway, or that you can read if you don't speak Portuguese. You know what I'm saying? So go out there and get these books. The Little Capoeira book by Nestor Capoeira, Mestre Accordion's Capoeira Brazilian Art Form, and there's a few others out there. But capoeira is a vetting process because it is like fire. Not everybody can hold it in their hands. You know what I'm saying? It requires you giving a lot of yourself.
So
open up.
Is it similar to like a Navy SEAL?
Yes,
if they graduated as a I'm just saying it's a vetting process. So I'm just saying a Navy SEAL. If you know that this guy graduated with you, he went through with you what you went through, and they conquered it, and they came out on top. So you can trust this person to be just as efficient and as strong as you are.
That's a teamwork.
Okay.
Well said. And that's what I was trying to say to you. Listen, the thing I said earlier, guys. Listen, remember what I said? I talked about going back to the source of mankind. The source of mankind is strife. The source of mankind is disagreement. The source of mankind is like what turns to war a lot of time. Martial arts was born out of the time. Mankind has been studying ways of kind of making sure that, like, indirectly I'm prepared martially for whatever things in life. And so in situations where you have, like colonization is a quintessential thing, you know what I'm saying? And in that period of time, I can talk about things that were created that I've been a part of. Reggae music, jazz, hip-hop, New Orleans gumbo, breakdancing, capoeira, pressure bust pipes, or either make diamonds. And when you get the chance to see that diamond is complicated. It's not like you can just pick it up. It's at the foot of the volcano. It's probably 10,000 degrees.
And it has to be cut and polished.
And
the diamond has to be cut and polished. So even at its core, to build on his point, that pressure builds that diamond, right? That diamond comes out of the ground, that diamond has to then be cut and processed, and then it's considered precious. Before that, if you see most diamonds, and they're raw, they're milky little white stones.
Worthless.
It's but until it's cut and polished,
Yes.
it's not really considered valuable.
It's when a rapper wants it.
Yeah, man, but capoeira will take you through that process of pressure cooking, and then it'll cut and polish you if you go through all those steps that you're talking about, because there are a lot of people that dropped out. They stopped completely and never came back to capoeira.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, no, go ahead.
Yeah,
No, you were doing your thing.
yeah.
I'm just trying to let them know.
yeah, but what I'm saying ultimately for all of us, we can identify with how capoeira made us better men, because we know we went through a process of pressure cooking, then getting cut and polished. Now, when people look at us, they say, "Man, you got something valuable there." That's capoeira, right?
So let me.
So the vetting process, I didn't want us to get off that topic. I just wanted V to interject
expound
that
on
part.
it.
So the vetting process and the reason why, like actually, one, choosing someone inside of capoeira to spend the rest of your life with, or knowing that I can't be with a capoeirista and I need someone to just give me my space for me to be in capoeira, because I like being in capoeira on my own. It's my thing. So some people need capoeira to be their thing.
Right.
I've told several, I had to tell my student once who keeps bringing like a girlfriend to capoeira, and once they break up, he like thinks it's his right to banish her from class and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, stop bringing people here. Cure yourself first. Let capoeira ring your life first. Because you got a lot of fuckery that needs to be cleaned out.
So let me ask you.
So the vetting process, I'm just saying, once you, that polishing of the diamond that Gavion just
That's speaking to
mentioned,
me right now.
a lot of people, as a teacher, I love a lot of my students. You can see, I've met several people in capoeira that, as the Bronx Tale, Sonny.
How many kids have you trained over the years?
Oh my God, hundreds, man, hundreds of kids.
Okay.
Hundreds of adults.
So like Bronx Tale.
Yeah,
Like Sonny.
and Sonny says you get 3 grade ones. I've seen a lot of them in capoeira.
Okay.
I grabbed the first one I could get my hands on. No, I'm telling you the truth.
No,
Listen,
I know.
why?
I think Gavion, the little girl in Gavion's class, I think is a special girl. But I
Yeah,
understand.
listen, let
I
me tell you
understand.
why. Capoeira, for me, I am my mind is like a mad computer running all day and night
Yeah.
with ideas.
Yeah.
And I need to be, in order to like manifest my ideas, I need to focus. So, yes, the one thing you notice about capoeiristas is my wife used to say it all the time too, and I know she just loves us, but she's like, all you motherfuckers are pretty. All you capoeiristas, all you great, good looking, body flexing, backflip motherfuckers all look good. It's true. Thank you, Jesus. Whatever. Thank you, Bimba. Thank you, Christina. Whatever. As a result, you can be distracted by the beauty of other capoeiristas who are shining too, especially the females and the, or the male, whatever it is, your version of it. But it's like, they're out, every one of them are beautiful.
Yeah.
Because
so
because they're vetted. Because
they,
you know what they're made
and
of.
they're naked in front of you
Yes.
like you are in front
Exactly.
of them.
Got it.
Exactly.
You can't, a capoeirista, to know a capoeirista, to know a capoeirista is to know them entirely.
Oh,
So have you guys traveled with this capoeira group, like internationally?
All over the world, bro. All over the world.
This has been to Brazil.
Yes.
Yeah. I got a story about you for you when I was in Europe.
I was about to say, about me, goddamn.
I went to Europe. I've been to Amsterdam. I love Amsterdam, by the way. I've been there several times.
Great city, my brother.
Oh my God.
Need to get there.
Beautiful.
And I want you to know you're my favorite girl.
So what about it?
No, but to your point about capoeira and damn,
So listen.
I lost my point.
So okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
So
that weed is goddamn whiskey.
it's okay. So
Hear me out.
Yeah.
So you guys traveled to the.
Okay. Oh yeah. So,
One second. So you guys traveled to the native Brazil.
yeah. But no.
One second.
Yeah.
We'll circle back to that.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
we're not going to stop you.
No doubt.
But I'm just so this is what the question I want to ask is what was the difference, or did you see a difference between capoeira here in America and in Brazil, and like how were you received in Brazil, being Americanos in Brazil?
capoeiristas.
Okay. My first experience in Brazil, I almost quit capoeira.
Wait. So you almost quit
Yep.
because when you went to Brazil for the first time, you almost quit capoeira.
Yep. They
Okay.
were that good. And
So you were
and
intimidated.
I was, but I learned a valuable lesson about what it means to be committed to something.
Okay.
What it really means. Because prior to going to Brazil, I thought I was good. You know, and you talk about this a lot about you have ideas in your head and you go out and you interact with the world, and the world might have a different idea about who you are and what you're bringing to the table.
Yeah, you're right.
So when I got to Brazil the first time, we trained a style of capoeira called regional.
Wait.
Regional.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
now.
regional.
Got it. Okay.
Regional.
Okay.
It's derived from.
For us that don't know, because
Right.
I don't know. Yeah.
We'll leave that for another conversation.
No problem.
We train that
Regional
style.
now.
Yes.
Okay.
The older style of capoeira is called Angola.
Angola.
Yeah, and it generally.
Wait, like the Angola prison in Louisiana?
Yep.
Okay.
And, or like the country of Angola in
Africa.
South Central Africa.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
And so basically, the Angola version is generally slower, generally more ritualized, generally more based on dance, and it doesn't emphasize the martial side as much.
Right.
It's still a martial
Got it.
art for that
Got it.
version, but it's generally slower. So I thought I was good when I went to Brazil. I
Okay.
swore up and down I was good. I was training. I'm going to be the hot shit.
Okay.
I got down there. We went to a Hegia now, or regional school.
Okay.
Not the slower style, the faster, more upbeat, aggressive, martial style of capoeira.
Okay.
I went to that school. When we finished playing, a guy came up to me. He said, "Man, you play very good Angola. I like playing with you. I want to play more Angola with you." In my mind, I thought I was doing a faster, more aggressive version of capoeira. Right? But he basically told me,
You was
you
slow.
doing the slow shit.
Right.
And I
But
thought I was doing something.
But you look good doing it.
Yeah, and I want to play more with you. And I said, damn. In my mind, I was like,
So that affected you to the
It
point where
fucked
you
me
were like,
up.
I gotta quit, man.
No. That's not what made me quit.
Okay.
That fucked me up. That was the gut check.
Yeah.
Before the hook came to knock me out.
Okay.
We went to a school in a neighborhood, you know, and when I say a neighborhood, I'm talking about a neighborhood school. We walked down these stairs, and it was like a little mini auditorium.
Okay.
Concrete floor and all that shit. They had pillars in there too.
All right.
And a like very cheap like roof. These little motherfuckers, I'm talking about, they were about 9, 8, 10 years old little bastards, were running up the pillars and doing backflips off them shits.
Yeah.
While the capoeira was going on, there was a circle of capoeira, a harda, which we play in. But outside of that, these little motherfuckers was running up the wall, running up the pillars and doing flips and shit. Like nothing. They were just having fun, like, fuck it, we gotta burn off some energy. We gonna run up these pillars and do flips. And it wasn't just one or two people. Damn near the whole class was doing it.
So the children were even intimidating in capoeira.
Man, that fucked me up. That was the hook shot that knocked me out. I said, God damn, I need to go home.
Ren,
No, I'm just gonna finish my point real quick.
No. I was just saying, Ren.
Yeah, Ren is next. So for 2 months, I came home in DC. I didn't train capoeira at all.
Wow.
I thought about that shit for 2 months.
Wow.
And I finally said, you know what? Get your ass off this fucking futon. You gonna modify everything. Throw all that bullshit you were doing before in the garbage.
Got it.
You gonna create a schedule. You gonna work off that schedule. And you are not gonna stop training that schedule. And when I say schedule, I mean...
How old were you at that point?
I was like 26.
Okay.
I'm 42 now. I said, I'm gonna
Well, you
work.
still got 2 more months.
I said, I had work before I turned 42. Right?
Yeah.
So I said, these are the kicks I'm gonna do every day. These are the stretch routines I'm gonna do every day. These are my conditioning and sit-up drills I'm gonna do every fucking
So
day.
it made you step your game up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about pressure before. So pressure is either gonna break you or make you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you meditate on it, if you use the mental capacities that we're all given, I don't care if you're a genius or not, if you use it and apply it properly, you will find a solution to everything.
Got it.
So that was my solution. After I got put in that pressure cooker, I came out the other side and I said, okay, this is what I need to do.
What did you see,
No,
man?
I'm gonna finish my story and then I'm gonna let Marcego talk. My bad, dog.
Marcego.
I said, the next time I came to a event with Brazilians in it, after I came out of my training phase, I believe Sohiza was with me at Ubaldo's event.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We,
Epic event.
oh, it was great.
Epic.
But that was the
Epic.
first time that I had Brazilians come up to me and say, man, you play awesome capoeira.
Yeah,
That's the event you were telling me about.
That was the event I was telling you about.
Okay.
They said you play awesome capoeira,
And
and they were shaking my head. These are Brazilians shaking my head after I came out of my rut.
So you
And-
felt accepted because you stepped your game up,
Stepped
and,
up.
and they recognized
But
it.
what's
they said-
interesting is I'm sorry, V. I got
Yeah.
to I gotta let you know.
Hey,
Just like Michael Jordan, who never sucked, bro. You never sucked in capoeira, bro. You always looked good. I think at that event though, you recognized that you looked good because you got the acceptance from all the highways. They were like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Because to see a tall, strong motherfucker like you do this shit, be flexible, and also be pretty and have the aesthetics. Like you've always had that, but I think at that event you recognize that they know you got it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, it's funny with Gavião, you guys already know. We were in a situation once where this other capoeirista looked at him and was like, look, dude, if I had your size, I would be terrorizing everybody in the world.
Yeah.
Because they don't understand why with his like abilities and his size, he's not like really more aggressive.
The Terminator.
Yes, exactly. But that's not what capoeira is about. But you know, funny enough, my experience is totally different than Gavião's experience with capoeira because I met capoeira through studying foreign languages. I went to Howard. That's where I actually met Gavião. I went to Howard University and I studied modern languages there, and I went to Brazil. And I saw this capoeira, you know what I mean? These guys are flipping around and doing all this stuff on the cobblestone.
So wait, you saw and were introduced to capoeira for the first time when you traveled to Brazil?
I traveled to Brazil.
Wow,
yeah.
okay.
I mean, no, my bad. I played soccer in high school, and I had a friend I played with. This was upstate New York. A lot of Brazilians were there. They worked at this hotel called the Concord Hotel and Kutcher's Hotel. They were brought over as workers, and a lot of them had kids in the area, and they brought their kids over or whatever. But I had this one friend named Dave Da Silva. I don't know where you at, Dave. Maybe you in Florida somewhere. But yo,
Shout out to Dave.
Hopefully Dave's listening.
Yo, listen, I remember we used to play soccer down at the soccer field, and he would score a goal, and he'd do a backflip or an Ausama or some shit. And they'd be like, "You guys don't know anything about that." And the other Brazilians who were from Belo Horizonte, I remember that clearly. My friends Christian and Mike Polano, all those guys, they would be like, "He's from Bahia," and he was like, "Yeah, I'm from Bahia. We do capoeira in Bahia." That's where I first heard of it.
Yeah, okay.
You know,
and so you saw a demonstration as far as the backflip.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when I was in Brazil was where I got the real vibe of it. And so the first time I saw it, I was like, okay, damn, I can do this, and I want to do this. And do these people know the power of this?
How old were you?
Man, I was maybe 24,
okay.
23, something like that.
Got it.
I got back to DC, man, and I started training, and I never stopped.
Got it. So
never
23, 24.
Yeah, I never stopped. This was 1998 when I came back. I started training at FICA in DC first.
So David, you're from Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
How did you get into cop? How did you first hear? So you said the movie was the first introduction as mine.
Yeah, only the strong.
Only the strong.
That's right.
Turn the mic to you. Take it all the way.
I got you.
And so you saw this movie.
Yeah.
Is that what got your interest, or was it something else?
That's what got me interested in capoeira.
So did you seek out an academy or something? I mean, how did you eventually get involved?
Let's see. I guess the internet was just kind of getting started then, so it's kind of hard for me anyway. But I was in college, and I looked up capoeira.
Okay.
Found it. Started Angola. Here we are today, man.
So the movie got you started.
Yeah, the movie got you started. Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna tell you, the movie was intimidating. The movie to me was what he saw in Brazil, because those moves those guys were doing. I mean, the only other people that I saw doing those moves were gymnasts.
Yeah. Right.
You understand? Like the Olympians. I'd never seen any other person other than an Olympian do the move that the capoeiristas do. I was intimidated. I'm not flexible.
Yeah.
I could never touch my toes to the day. I'm 40.
No, but you strong as a motherfucking ox. Come on, man.
Listen, man. You just bring yourself to capoeira. What it does, man, is it'll help you iron out who you are as a person. Period. You know what I mean? You don't have to be strong. You don't have to be this. You don't have to be old. You don't have to be young. You don't have to be a female. You don't have to be a male. I mean, whatever, man. The point is, if you just come, capoeira will literally give you the skills that you need to survive.
I'm gonna get something out of it.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah,
you.
but you guys talking to super dated. Y'all don't know. Look that dude up. I'm talking about.
No, I saw him
Google
yesterday.
That Google
I didn't
this
have to
fool's
Google
name.
I don't have to. I saw him
I'm
yesterday.
just telling you. I'm just saying.
But I saw all
he's
of
a
you
top
guys.
tennis player that chose not to go that
but-
path. This was a baseball
but-
player
but
that was
Red,
recruited by the Mets.
but
This is
Red,
real shit. You know
So
what we're talking to right here.
so
You know what I
listen. Everybody here has gray hair exposed or hidden. Okay? So here's what I'm gonna say. Here's what I'm trying to say. I watched as an audience member at the Capoeira event yesterday. You guys' physicality. The physical ability is amazing. Whoa, Vic, hold on. I saw you guys doing shit that I saw breakdancers do. So just let me hear. I'm from the outside, so let me talk to the audience from an outsider's point of view. I've never trained capoeira. I don't know much about it. I'm learning now with these guys. But I saw these men doing breakdance moves and incorporating those moves into a martial art. And I have the footage. I'll post them soon. These moves, and men and women, kids and adults, were doing these breakdance moves. And they incorporated in martial arts. And these guys are in their 40s. I know these guys. And I know these guys feel their knees like I feel my knees sometimes. and their elbows like I might feel my elbows sometimes. But what they pulled off was utterly amazing to me as far as physicality, because it was like a circus. It was like the Olympics. It was like me watching a gymnast at work, but a kick came at the end of these moves. No, seriously.
Tony. Can I say this? Can I say this just real quick? First of all, what I've realized as a 43-year-old man is that there are a lot of lotteries in life. So you can win this one lottery in which you fall out of a vagina that has a family with wealth. You did nothing to deserve that. But that's why you fell out.
Yeah.
Right?
They call it the DNA lottery.
There's right? The lottery that we won, we actually won the genetic lottery. Now listen, we broke the motherfucker. Right. But listen, we won the genetic lottery. So for me, you said you never saw anybody other than a gymnast doing flips. Which right?
No, not flips. I'm saying the specific moves that I saw you guys doing yesterday.
So what I saw as
you guys would go into a fucking like a break dance shuffle, and then get on your back like a spider, kick up into a handstand, and then do scissor kicks at somebody.
Yeah, right.
I never seen that shit ever.
No, you're right. You're right. And I get it. But like for me, I can remember dude being in like the 7th grade. And back then in Oakland, like cats would drop out of school by 6th grade. And it was these cats who were selling dope in the neighborhood, right? Not even in school. There was one kid in my grade in 6th grade. I'm sorry, 7th grade. This dude, I just saw him doing, it was like the whole school was on the field that day. This kid did fucking like backflips with no hands down a whole field, like he's doing a back handspring. I had never seen that. But then I seen these dudes who were like selling crack. They took their fucking hands off to the shop and they started doing flips too. I'm like, God damn, why am I flipping? Why did you sell crack? You learn how to flip? Like these niggas are incredible.
Okay. So look, I want to ask all of you this question. What if you could give a message to any young person that's joining capoeira? And I understand you guys are teachers and you guys have an academy, but let's speak outside of that. Let's say if you can just write an open letter to a youngster that that's interested in capoeira, what would you convey to them?
I will convey to the student, listen, this is an amazing martial art, and within it, you're going to find a space to create who you are, right? You're going to see people who are amazing. You might get lucky enough to get a teacher who is considered like incredible and innovative. That has nothing to do with what you are going to do. Okay? So I got a crazy story. I have my own almost capoeira story. That story is in 2003 in my first podcast. Listen, at that time, I've been training for like,
Wait, it's your first box is out.
Yeah. And I've been training 2 years at that point. You know what I'm saying? With these guys. So now we go to Seattle, right, to get actually initiated into this martial art. But the night before, what used to happen is like our Mexican school would do a party at a restaurant.
So how old were you?
I must have been like, at that point in time, I was like 26. Yeah, 26.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So we're in this restaurant. We all we were eating, we drank, right? All of us dancing, doing samba, getting sweaty and shit. And all of a sudden,
Some samba drums.
all of a sudden, right? Some samba drums came in, right? And there's a big circle, and everybody's in this circle. And our mestre, now first of all, our mestre has a student who he made a mestre. The only person who our mestre has made mestre, right, is this mestre named Mestre Blue Branca. That guy is known in capoeira for whooping ass.
So wait. So he doesn't. So let me clarify. So he don't put the foot there and wait for
No,
somebody to
no,
run
no,
He
no.
puts it into his ass.
He puts that foot through you.
Every kick has an address.
Yes. Listen.
Every
His
kick.
has an address. He says that publicly. He says, my daughter's in the way.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna duck her, I'm gonna knock her.
To give you a window into the psychology of this man, when he got his mestre cord, he said, listen, all y'all know me. Y'all know what I do. If I'm playing my daughter, she better duck. That's this man.
So he's taking out a lot of aggression.
Yes.
It's not.
No, but let me hear me out. So instead of him going beating up some random person in the street,
Yes.
he's able to come to the
The capoeira.
This is one of the most
the
efficient.
Baca what?
The capoeira.
The harder.
This
And
gentleman,
get it out.
yes,
Get it out.
this gentleman is one of the most efficient killers I've ever
one of the best
seen.
Wait. Efficient killers?
When I say killers, man, he can kill you
Okay.
if he
Yeah.
wanted to.
Right.
But he's efficient with it.
Yes.
I'm saying, in 2003 at the event, where my man V found out he was shit at that same event, this guy who's one of our mestres, it was a kid who had a black eye, the kid on the right eye. Because that weekend, that motherfucker ducked the wrong way and got kicked, right?
Got hit.
On a Friday. Now the event is on a Saturday, right? So this kid, he soldiered up, he came to the event to get his cord, right? Our mestre got in the huddle with this kid. You know what our mestre did? He kicked him in the other eye. Who does that?
Well, I'm gonna say
When he kicked him, he didn't give him a black eye. When he gave him a black eye, he put his foot on his face with that level of precision. So what I'm saying is, in the midst of being able to kill you, I can play with you and make it funny.
Yeah.
Who does that? That's fucking weird.
So it's like a line.
Yes,
It's like a line group.
Literally playing with this food.
Yes.
Literally playing with this
Or like Marcelo just said, it's like a cat playing with a mouse.
Yes,
Like-
like literally, like literally playing with the food. So anyway, back at our event where I got my first court, we're in the restaurant. Our mestre is in the holder, right? Which is what we play. So we play in a circle called a holder, right?
The macolele first.
Yes. So there's drumming, right? Women got the shirts off. Well, not all women. They have like bras on, the bra tops. Goddamn, it may well be niggas.
Sports bra.
I know I got hard. yeah, looking sweaty. There's this sexual energy in the room. Then niggas start fighting. What the fuck is this shit? What the fuck? And I'm saying, the two of our mestres got in the group, and mind you, I can tell you a whole story of this other motherfucker who like kicked the nigga in the eye on purpose, but it hurt him to make it funny for the crowd. Our mestre got in with him, who is his student, right? And they got on jeans. These motherfuckers got on. This is before skinny jeans were in. I swear they must have been wearing skinny jeans. You know, we get in the past, we said, okay, they pretty young. That must be what they do. Right? Yeah, you can't be no skinny jeans. Anyway, they wore these jeans, and they got in the harder, and the kicks were going so fast.
In the dark.
I'm in the dark, right? The lighting was horrible. The floor had spilled drinks on it and shit like this. These niggas are playing capoeira with no shoes on in front of everybody, literally trying to kill each other. But the motherfucker who I thought was a bad nigga was running for his life.
He was running from your
Yo,
man.
yes, from his own mestre.
He wasn't the predator.
No, he was a goddamn prey, and he was like,
So you're telling me the great white shark was getting chased
oh
by
my
the killer,
God,
by the killer whale?
yo, he was getting like fucking chomped on. It was a soccer ball. That mestre was just juggling that nigga like.
Yeah.
Nigga, and then after the harder, The bad nigga, he was dejected. He was like, shit. What the fuck? In front of everybody. Yes. And I'm saying, our ministry walked over to him like, good job, big dog. Good job. You all right? Afterwards, I said, fuck this shit. I'm not going to be able to do that shit. No, hell no.
It was intimidating.
Yes,
listen.
listen, I'm a realist. I know what I can do. I'm a strong nigga. But goddamn, I saw that shit. I said, I can never do that. If that is required, I fail. Right? So after seeing that, I was like, what the fuck? But what I realized is this. Everybody comes with something to offer. So what you got to do is find what your things
Your
offer,
niche.
and right, and do that. Right. So his thing is big, strong motherfucker, but flexible, beautiful, pretty, can dance. Right. His thing, dancer, very crafty, very slick. Right. My thing is, I was a strong dude.
Yes.
Right. So I can do the strong shit, you know, and I'll get that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? This guy right here, also very crafty, very slick, very smooth for a big tall guy. You know what I'm saying? So in capoeira, you learn how to develop what you have, right, and appreciate them. Because also capoeira is also not just about the movements. Like there's a community involved. There's somebody got to write a letter for a grant so we can get money for the academy to do things. Somebody has to be able to like write letters to like the fucking consulate to get visas.
We live in a capitalist world, man. You know
Right?
How long have you been teaching, Ray?
Oh man, since what? 2003, right?
Yes, since we started.
So 2003.
16 years.
Yeah, 16.
So how many children have stuck with it that you taught as a child, and now they're virtually adults?
Oh my God.
How many?
Roughly about maybe 4, right? There's Pesci, there's Jinga, Largato, Rason, and I have kids I have raised. So my kids program in DC started like shortly before me and my wife had a kid. You know, it was just a few parents. We called them the Rasta crew. There was a bunch of like good eating veganists, you know what I'm saying, in that area. Dreadlocks, conscious folks.
Got it.
Were, you know, and so they wanted, they sought us out because one thing about when we started in DC, we didn't try to do no fake shit. I remember talking to you guys know him as Vice, yeah.
But Gavion.
Yeah. I remember talking to Gavion several times. And I'd be like, man, yo, what kind of like platform are we gonna work from? Because there's like the Hebrew Israelites talking their stuff over there on the other side.
Those guys are angry.
Yes, I mean, we were very like Afrocentric and also like pro the cause type mindset, but we ain't out there beating the drums like that because we're coming from like the university.
You're more from a Bob Marley point of view.
Not only that, but me and V were more. Yeah, me and V are more like into reading books. You know what I'm saying? Reading like, okay, we gonna read biographies and see how these people went about going at things, so we can like break it down on a futuristic level. Because we knew we are the future. That's the truth. We can't do it the way Malcolm did it or the way Martin did it.
Of course,
we had to find
that's their legacy.
We had to find a hybrid way to do it. So we were like, what's gonna be our platform for capoeira? And the real thing was like, yo, just be ourselves, dude. Just be ourselves, just be what we are. And, I never got into capoeira really to be a teacher in our school. I just wanted to be the lone ranger in the park with skills.
So it was selfish.
It was, really. But selfishness, the only way to get the benefit from being selfish is to be selfless.
Got it. So how long did it take you to learn that?
Man, I think in the beginning, because once you started teaching,
so you're saying immediately?
Immediately, because
immediately when you started teaching.
Yes, when I started teaching, because
what led you to teaching in the first place? What led you from being selfish to saying I'm going to share this?
All right, it's funny. What happened was there was a time he was in DC with us, and he was the president of Capoeira DC originally, and I was the vice president.
Okay.
And Mestre Corisco came to DC one time and was like, "Yo, Musego, you're quite proficient in the capoeira. I give you permission to teach a class. You should teach a class."
So you got the Mestre's blessing.
I got the Mestre's blessing because I would never.
Mestre Corisco.
Yes.
Okay.
Because one of the things with me is I know I'm a good leader now at this point, all these years later. But I was a good follower too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I never was like feeling like I need to teach. Because I know, honestly, man, I think all of us here feel this way.
But every good teacher is a good follower.
Right. I'm going to tell you something. I think
every good
all
leader
of us,
is a good follower. I'm sorry.
Right. I think all of us here know something now as going back to being from the Lucky Sperm Club thing, I know I'm all right, man, dude. I know I'm a good athlete. I know I'm smart. I know I'm gonna be fine. I know enough primitive skills to
But imagine
keep me
this.
alive.
I want to interject this. Imagine never getting the girl you wanted. Imagine, but listen, everybody's not in the lucky DNA category. Imagine never.
This is that Malcolm shit for y'all. This is that Malcolm shit right here.
But listen,
I got him covered on this.
imagine
Go ahead.
that you never got the girl you wanted, and the girls you did get dated. It had to be some sort of transaction that occurred. Whether it be material, whether it be cash, whether it be a dinner, whether it be something against your will.
We talked about this.
Everybody ain't in the DNA lottery.
That's true.
So I just want to express to the audience that we understand the significance of this isn't something that we brush off.
Right.
Because everybody's just not blessed enough to get. Listen, a lot of men, I tell Vice this all the time, a lot of men have to take what they can get. They cannot pick and choose what women they deal with.
Yes.
A lot of men don't have this ability. And, we're lucky. We're lucky to do this. So what are we going to say, Dave?
Brother,
Go ahead. Don't be shy now.
nah, dude, my mind is racing so fast to go from one topic to another, so I'm sorry.
You got to talk to the mic, though.
Damn, Mike. Nah, brother, man, man, look, I have a lot of feelings about life. But
Okay.
let me just say this. Capoeira,
Lift your mic up.
Capoeira, when you train Capoeira, it'll iron out all of those things, man,
Okay.
in your life.
It's a balancing period.
There's something that happens, man, because look.
So
you said- wait,
Capoeira
no,
becomes
no,
your
no.
teacher of life.
Exactly,
Got
because
it.
you just said, okay, well, some of us aren't gifted DNA-wise, this, that, and that. It's not about that.
Okay.
It's not about that. It's about what you got. Whatever you are as a human being, you bring it to the table, and we work with it. And you be yourself. That's what he just said. Be yourself. A lot of us are running around this life, man, like,
So you bring
not being real.
So you bring the capoeira all your garbage. Hold on, y'all talk off the mic. Talk off the mic, man. So you bring all your garbage to capoeira, and capoeira will help you sort it out and let you know what to keep and will let you know what to discard. Is what you're saying?
I would say yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But also see, here's the thing, you gotta also have the good with the bad.
Yes.
Well, but that's what we're saying.
So hold on, because my thing is this, right? You're gonna run into people. So in capoeira, right, you have different personalities, right?
In life.
Yes. And in that game, when you decide to buy a game, but even worse, when somebody decides to buy a game with you. And when I say buy a game, that means they want to literally exchange technique with you, right? It might be a person who only exists to make other people look bad. And today they want to make you look bad.
Mestre.
Okay, so yes, right.
He can do that indefinitely.
Yes. So what I'm saying is, like you have to be able to deal with that, right? So Mestre, when I play Mestre, it's funny. He treats me like I'm a court jester. now, amongst the school, they know. Oh, so he's.
But maybe that's why he does it.
Watch him. You gotta
Maybe
watch
that's
him.
why he does it.
And he does. And what I'm saying
Because
is,
he got to let everybody
Yes.
know. Y'all think he's the shit?
yes.
Where do you see me?
And
get that?
that's what they do. So it's a true story. When I learned how to sweep people, it's a move called hastieta.
Hastieta is a
Yes.
sweeping move?
Yes.
Hasteta.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the move when if you lift your foot off the ground, I want to sweep the balancing foot and you're going to fall on your butt.
Yeah.
That is like one of the pinnacle movements in capoeira.
Okay.
To be able to sweep a person to the ground. We call it taking your soul. Right? Everybody, you hasteta has to be your slave in the underlife. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? When I learned that movement, I gave it to everybody. I gave it to him. I gave it to him. And work out around it. Oh, yo, so he's like that.
And also the no-handed cartwheel. But go ahead.
Right. So Mexican, and he's always do that. And like, he's not really saying much. So we get in the hole to be playing. Mexican buys my game. I knew what his plan was. I'm like, okay, he's buying my game to give me a hastera. So he looks at me and we smile. We go in there to play the game. I didn't throw no kicks. All I did was jingle.
All you did was what?
All I did was jingle, move around.
Base movement, capoeira.
Jenga.
Yeah.
Jenga.
Jenga, yeah.
What is that?
So
It's the dance-like movement of capoeira.
So all you did was dance and throw punches?
No,
Or you just danced
no
out?
punch, just dance.
You
Just
just
dance.
okay.
And if he was over there, I was over here. I avoided him the whole game.
So wait, everybody watching.
Yes.
And all you did was
Yes,
the
and,
Gina,
and mind you, I had given hostage to everybody the whole fucking year.
and that was your fatal flaw.
That was my shit. So now
That was your flaw, though.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. I'm in the hall with this guy. I know he wants to teach me a lesson. Come smart. I'm not stupid.
Okay.
Right? He stops the game. He looks at me, and at that moment he was my daddy. And he looked at me. What are you doing?
Let me.
I walked around the hall with him, head down. We crouched down at the pedal to beat him out. And he says to me, "So Hazel, play your game, man. What are you doing?
Don't be scared.
Like, why are you wasting my time?" I say, "Yes, Master. I'm a soldier." I go in there and I go in the holder. On my first kick, he hot-stabbed me. Boom!
But why didn't you have some sort of a precaution for the hostel?
So capoeira is about trust.
Yeah.
In order to kick you, I must be willing to get kicked.
Yeah. So wait, Vic. So wait.
Yes.
You telling me that I'm an outsider. The magistrate, one magistrate black and one kid's eye.
Yes.
The other one black, the other one's eye.
Yes.
And you trust these motherfuckers?
And
I'm thinking my eyes are going to get black.
And that's what is beautiful about this art is we play this art, guys, with no mouth gear, no.
I saw.
No,
I saw.
yeah, it's like no pads on, right?
Got
And
it.
I have to trust this. Right now, I drink with these guys. I smoke weed. We eat food. We cook food. We hang out, right?
Okay.
I trust them with my kids. I have to also trust that when I am having an off day, or not even an off day, if I'm on my shit and he gets me, I gotta trust that he ain't gonna break my fucking face.
No, he's not going to break your face, but he wants you to get better. But go ahead, Mike.
But that's one of the things. That's a cardinal philosophy of capoeira. Is just like in life, where if you're going to be a sane human being, you need to learn how to laugh at yourself.
We do that all the time,
Right, we do. But I'm saying for the general public, if you want to be a sane human being living on this earth,
Yeah.
you
Listen,
need to
so-
be able to. But I'm gonna tie this into capoeira.
I'm
real quick.
expounding
I'm
it.
gonna-
Yeah.
I'm gonna tie
Go
this
ahead,
in.
okay.
What I'm saying is, if like you get swept, like Sohiza was talking, Professor Sohiza was talking about right now. If you get swept by somebody and you fall on your ass,
Got
you
it.
have to be willing to laugh in that moment.
For sure.
As
Because
you're
the whole community is watching you.
As you're falling.
They want to see your reaction. They want to see, oh, do you accept getting
As you're falling.
beaten right there?
Yep.
Getting got.
And what's your attitude?
Leave the ego at the door.
Yeah, exactly. What's your attitude in terms of the recovery? When you hit the ground, are you going to laugh at yourself?
Exactly.
Everybody else is laughing.
Right.
And they're not necessarily laughing at you.
They're laughing with you.
They're laughing with
Because
you.
they know they could be there at any moment.
Right,
as well.
and that's the thing. So in that game, right, he hostage me a total of 3 times.
Yeah.
So
And on the third state, I swear to God, both my feet left the ground. And you know, back in the day, we used to call it a wedgie or a mercy, but when your draws get pulled up, my draws. That's how hard he dropped me, right? And then afterwards, like, I didn't play the rest of the day. I just sat like this.
Yeah.
And afterwards, I walked up to him and said, "Yeah, Mess, what was that about?" He said, "So I'm gonna tell you 2 things. I'll never forget this. First of all, when you play with me, I'm your mestre, right? Right? If I want to hurt you, it's already over, right?
Yep.
So when you play me, do what you do. Relax.
stop holding back.
Yes.
That's the same thing. That's the same thing about Gavion. He holds back, right?
Yeah, because
Everybody agree?
Yes.
No. I ain't gonna put it away.
but we gonna get to that. But the thing is, like our mentor said, listen what I do. I
Hold
love
on.
you.
Keep going.
I love you. I would never hurt you like that.
Right.
Okay? So when you play with me, play your game. I'm gonna buy your game to make you better. Number 1. And then the second thing he told me is, if you are willing to give it, be willing to get it.
That's right. That's
Right?
That's right.
If you want to hostage everybody, so I would never tell you stop. But I'm gonna tell you also know how to fall too, and also fall in front of them, so that they know that you are also vulnerable. That actually made me a better capoeirista. From that point in time, I learned how to laugh at myself during the game. At that particular point, man, I learned, you know what, man, it ain't all about me.
That's right.
Sometimes I need to be the example in front of other students so that they can grow. So this shit is bigger than me. One day I'm not gonna be playing.
That's right.
But while I'm playing, you use me as a vehicle.
And
To show their vulnerability.
You know what, so Hazel, to your point about vulnerability, we talked on the phone, we said this privately when we spoke, but I want to say this publicly that I'm really loving your role as a big brother and a mentor for a lot of the capoeiristas in the school. I'm loving it, man. Because the last time when I was in DC,
Yeah, you saw it.
yeah, you know, but because so Hazel gave me a ride to my sister's house. Everybody was like, I said, hey, I'm going to College Park, which is not that far from DC, audience. Everybody there said they did like this. Anybody give me a ride?
Right. Hey, cell phones come out.
Everybody, man,
this is my mom.
they turned away. Shit, man. And so Hazel gave me a ride to my sister's place in College Park, Maryland, which is right outside DC. He also gave a ride to a young guy who started with us when he was like 6, 7 years old. Young Sineme. He gave a ride to him, and I witnessed his mentoring to Sineme because Sineme was calling him uncle.
How old is Sineme now?
What is he, 22,
21.
23, 21?
So name actually like stayed with him with Sego, man.
Yeah, that's
So
our,
15
that's our
years
child.
But
That's our
what I'm
child.
saying is this. When I was teaching Sineme, he was 6'7", feisty kid,
Yeah.
strong, feisty kid. To see him now at 21 years of age, embracing the mentorship of my brother Sohizu, I loved it. Because he was calling him uncle the entire trip. We driving in a car. That's not his uncle, but he is.
Spiritually.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
And-
like
and so,
we're family, yeah.
yeah. And so I loved, in terms of the evolution, in terms of being able to laugh at yourself, in terms of being vulnerable, in terms of seeing opportunities to teach outside of, hey, do this and that, right? That direct teaching. There's indirect teaching that happens too, when you can make yourself vulnerable and allow people to learn from your example, what we call cautionary tales.
Yeah, it's like learning from somebody who's younger than you.
Yeah, absolutely, that too.
That's Hazel. I'm older than he is, but guess what? I call him Unc because he's wise.
Yeah,
Got it.
That dude is wise too,
yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
right? And that dude is wise too. All these
Yeah,
guys, man, they're
very
all
much
wise.
so.
You know that?
I agree.
Yeah, man. But I just think overall, when you look at learning in the art of capoeira, when you look at, like we said before, being able to laugh at yourself is so important because
I remember you told me a story
Yeah,
pertaining for laughing
yeah,
at yourself.
Yeah,
Vice told me that he did a performance and he thought he was masquerading, pretty much. But he saw a video of himself and he was like, Danny Glove off and leave the weapon. It was a humbling experience for him. He said it was a humbling experience because he thought he was much more efficient than in actuality. When he saw the test, he was like, shit.
So you're gonna be a superstar, man.
But he was laughing at himself. He told me this story. I wasn't a part of the group. I didn't see this tape. He didn't have to inform me of this.
Yeah.
He told me this because this was something that he found funny.
Yes.
Where he was like, man, let me tell you, man, I thought I was this and I was really that.
Yeah.
And him finding out he was that, he had to laugh.
Yeah, well, you know, it's funny because I don't usually like these
Okay.
as far as like,
I do it all the time.
I do it too. I don't like to, but I do it.
Okay.
I prefer to reference like literature, books, and shit like that.
Okay.
So, I was watching Boys in the Hood.
Hey, yo, go. Let me out.
Let me out. No, let me out. So,
Oh, shit. He's going out the Capoeira way. That's the Capoeira way.
Yo.
Go ahead.
So I was watching Boys in the Hood, and I believe it was Ice Cube's character. I might be paraphrasing, but it was Ice Cube's character who said, you know, see that, or it might have been Regina King's character. He said, you know, that's why shit is always happening because these motherfuckers out here be tripping. And then his boy in the backseat said, man, you be doing that shit too. And he said, yeah, you right. And they all started laughing.
That was
about
Ice
it.
Cube's character.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers always try to show how hard they are. And all this, he said, man, you be doing that shit too. He said, yeah, I know.
Then they get left, right? But that's a classic example of being able to laugh at
Instead of
yourself
being
and
a hypocrite.
Exactly.
And admitting that you have the same flaw that
Right.
you have.
Exactly.
And I, you know, so what I was going to say earlier was this. With unbeknownst to y'all, I was married at a point.
Yep.
She left me. Okay?
Yep.
And this was maybe 2 or 3 weeks later. Maybe about three or 4 weeks later, right? I was going to get some dog food. You know the story. So I was driving, and I was going to get some dog food, and I pulled into the parking spot and just burst out crying, right? And I don't even know why. Like it wasn't like I was thinking about all this shit up until the point that I parked. It just spilled out, and I burst out crying. And I started imagining how ugly I was looking as I was crying, and I started laughing. And the shit was actually so funny that I called my sister and said, look, I just did this and bust out crying, and I know I was ugly as fuck, and we're crying laughing. I'm calling Vice, we're crying laughing. Because we're all vulnerable.
Yeah, brother.
No one's exempt from this shit. And that's what I want the audience to know.
That's that nakedness. That
Walk around with it all the time.
That's right.
It frees you from fuckery, man. I'm telling you.
But the kids, to never let them see you sweat.
Right.
Never hide everything. And I think that's a big detriment to our young society because they're not taught to express themselves, which is a purge.
Right.
It's a purge of the negative feelings that you feel about this a certain situation.
Listen, man, I'm telling you guys something. One thing on that vulnerability, right? I'm a weirdo. I'm a strange guy. I know.
He's left-handed.
So my thing is this: like, I know how I'm going to die.
You know how.
I know how I'm going to die.
How did you find that out?
I can't explain. I can't intellectualize it. But I have a feeling about how I'm going to die.
Well, a feeling and knowing is two different things.
Yeah.
I got a feeling she's cheating and knowing she's cheating. Two different worlds.
But I don't know. I think it's the same world.
Okay.
I'm hearing for me, like, I can't explain why, but I have a feeling that I know how I'm going to die.
Is it like Richie Valenzuela's in the play?
I know how I'm going to die. You know what
In your
I'm saying?
sleep.
Right. but I got a feeling about how I'm going to die, right? And so, and this only started happening after I turned 40.
Okay.
Right?
Wow.
Before then, those thoughts never entered my mind. But after I turned 40, I realized, like, shit.
You're not.
I've probably lived over half my life already.
Yeah, you're not immortal.
Period.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
And I know
Go ahead.
every day gets me closer to that end, right?
Okay.
And so because of that, right, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to spend the rest of the days that I have to put a smile on someone's
Enjoying.
face.
And enjoying it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Enjoying
David.
it. We talk about that all the time.
All the time.
You
All
know,
the time.
so I grew up harsh, right? There was a part of my life where I grew up like Ricky Schroeder. You got old enough to remember that silver spoon. So up until 11, I grew up like Ricky Schroeder. Post that, it was the polar opposite of growing up with everything. I grew up with, my mom and I was homeless, and I had to wear the same clothes to school every day and shit like that. Kids are cool, so I should have learned capoeira to fuck up.
Exactly.
So I'm just saying that one thing I learned back then, and as a kid, I was a gambler. I had 2 older siblings, and one's 10 years older, one's 7 years older. And my mom treated me just as if I was their age, and they showed me how to gamble. They used to try to get over, so I had to learn quickly. But I knew about gambling. What I knew about gambling was this, like card games. Everyone's going to get dealt a hand, and there's nothing you can do but play. And I accepted that as a child. As a kid, I was smoking. But as a kid, I accepted that this is the hand that I got, and I got to play it and make the best of it. But there's going to be more hands dealt. This ain't the end of the game. And I think a lot of the people ought to know this, is that, whatever you're going through now is not going to define you forever. Right. Unless you did something that's unforgivable, such as molestation or a certain type of murder or something like that. Some of these things are literally unforgivable. But I'm just saying.
Hey. Let me just say this. Let me say
Sure.
Okay. I'm telling you, listen, man. My life has been rocked in the last 6 months.
Okay.
Let me tell you why. Okay? I'm being transparent as I can be right now.
Awesome.
With this girl for like 3 years. Okay?
Gotcha.
About to have a baby with her. she finds out 7 months into the pregnancy that I've been cheating on her for a year.
Got it.
Okay? Yeah, dude.
Whoa, this ain't funny.
No, I was about to say.
We're living with this.
I'm not laughing at him. I'm laughing with him.
This is hindsight.
But I just took a deep ass breath. But hold on, I just want to say for my female audience members, he's being transparent. All y'all say all men liars.
No.
Ain't gonna let him, my boy. I'm not laughing at him. I'm laughing with him. Yeah, I'm not laughing at him.
I just want to. I want to cater to some motherfucker right here, man. Yeah, we commending this man. For those of you that are listening and can't see the video, we're commending him for being transparent and telling the truth that 7 months into her pregnancy, she finds out that he's been cheating.
Yeah, for a year.
For 1 year.
For 1 year. So obviously that's not going to work, right?
Got it.
So I don't get to basically see my kid when he's born. Right? I got to wait 2 days to go see him after he's born. I had to move out the day that she found out. In fact, I was training capoeira with Mr. Mosego, getting ready to go to Toronto, Canada.
Got it.
I was hyped. I was like, yeah, we're about to represent, I want to represent my teachers, Sihizu, Mr. Mosego, you know what I mean? Because that's what it's about, man. You train to reflect what you've been taught in the school that you're associated with.
Agreed.
But not just in the physical, but also in the mental and the social standing. I think that's what a lot of people miss about capoeira, man. There's a social endeavor.
You're right.
There's a social endeavor. You
You're
have to, if you don't take that approach to, I want to learn about people. I want to know about them openly. And it's hard, man, because we all have vices.
Got it.
It's hard to shift for me because I know people when they like. For
It's
me,
hard to shit for all of us.
But like,
I wanted to say we're in this with you, even though our vices might not be the same. It's a vice.
Yeah,
it's
it's
the
a
same
vice.
thing. Yeah,
Right,
you're
right,
absolutely right.
So for me, for example, it's great whenever I'm like interviewing for a job. I sound great on the phone because they think I'm white
Okay,
because of the way I sound,
got it.
right? But here's the thing: that's the way I was taught how to speak.
Absolutely, me
To some
too.
degree,
You change your voice when you're talking to white folks.
Yeah.
As his black folks would talk that though.
That's why we're multilingual.
You guys-
Don't you ever sleep.
Excuse me, are you asking for Anthony Headen? I'm here right now. This is actually me. And I want to let you know why I'm a good benefit for your company. Because if I talk like this, they might fuck around and get intimidated. So, man, I'm the shit. So y'all can integrate anything.
I can do anything, man. Every nigga's a star.
But go ahead, I don't want to
Hey, that's like Martin Lawrence said in Bad Boys. He said, man, you got too much bass in your voice. That scare white folk.
No, but it's real.
He doesn't, I wanted to come over here and see if you have some sugar.
So my life is complex, man, to some degree. So the woman who's having my kid is a white woman, right?
Got it?
From Wisconsin, but she grew up in Central America, Panama,
Okay.
Honduras, El Salvador, so she speaks Spanish, the whole 9 yards. Fast forward the situation, it just, man, I found another woman through capoeira.
Got it.
That's what I've been cheating with. You know what I mean? For years.
Got it.
There was something to learn about her, man. That was sexy. That was fun. That was in the same element and where I wanted to be all the time. Like he said.
So for the female audience, what occurred that made you cheat?
I was highly attracted to her, but man, dude, that's the bottom line. I was highly attracted to the woman, you know what I mean?
And that's it.
That-
So what did she have?
That's enough.
Whoa. So what did she have that your woman at home did not have?
okay, I got you. There you go.
I'm gonna get deep, baby.
Okay, so first of all, yo, dude, listen, you cannot post this shit.
Don't speak it. Don't say it. Don't say it. No, I can't edit this shit. I can't edit this shit.
My client has no. This interview is over. This interview is over.
No. So Dave, so how did capoeira help you get past it?
Like that.
How did capoeira get past it?
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
I don't listen. I'm not here to out.
That's a lifeline.
So no, listen.
That's a lifeline,
I'm not here to. I'm not here to create any controversy. I don't want to get on hurting people.
This interview is over. Here's what happened next. Call my car.
This is a Rich Mind podcast. I'm not here to. I want to show the positive and everything, not the negative.
Oh my God.
how did Capoeira help you get past what you went through during being busted cheating?
Okay, so-
and you not being able to be with your child, your newborn child.
Right.
How did Capoeira help you get past it? You met a woman in Capoeira, and what else?
Well, capoeira is like this, man. I told you it's a spiritual thing. What that means is, look, man, if something is calling you spiritually,
Got it.
you can't escape it. It's who you are, who your soul is, who you be.
So this is our debate about fate and free will.
Yeah, dude.
But I'm with you. Yeah.
I mean, look, it's just the way
I'm
it is. All the
debating.
people that
Yeah.
all the people that are sitting at this table right
Oh.
now, all the people that are sitting at this table right now, they've been here for years. Seize up. How long you been doing capoeira, man?
It's just 2001, so that's what,
18
years?
2019,
And
baby.
so how many people do you think? How many people do you think you've seen in capoeira and aren't here anymore?
Oh my God. I mean, people have come and gone left and right. And what's interesting is you have people who come with all the physical attributes, like they're the same genetic lottery that we benefit from. Like we've seen those people. And they usually end up not being the ones who last. The ones who last are the ones who have to work for it.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to completely work for it, right? But hold on, let me defend my client real quick. No, for real. Because you got to
Johnny Conqueror, you
you gotta understand, ladies, like to the female audience listening, like I'm gonna intellectualize this shit, right? Basically, what Angelero is saying is that this particular person, right, whom he happened to have a connection with, right? There was no plan.
It occurred.
Yeah, and not at once, over time.
Let me be frank.
I don't want to get too
Listen,
deep.
listen,
I don't want to
Tony.
get too deep in
Tony,
this.
Tony,
no,
listen,
no,
I'll say it
no.
this way. Tony, listen to me. Simply put, it was fate.
Got it.
And the thing with that is and this is to the female audience listening. Like, I want you guys to understand a few things, like in terms of if there are different things. Once again, it's all how you define things, right? So is cheating the actual act of having sex, or is cheating that moment? Sometimes we have these moments with people.
Vic, look.
And that moment,
Don't you have a wife?
Yes.
Okay, cheating can be minuscule.
Bro.
Cheating can be sitting in the car with another man.
Listen, I used to have a work wife.
I'm just saying.
No, for real. That's real shit. Like, bro, listen, years ago, I had a work wife. At my job, this woman was my work wife. She was known as my work wife. We went to lunch together, right? I used to get the bill for shit.
Is that cool? Are you cool with your wife having a work husband?
What I'm saying is,
Yeah, he getting political.
Hey,
He getting political.
my client doesn't have to answer that.
Dave,
He's the fifth.
So Dave,
What I'm saying
Dave,
is,
on a serious note. No, but Dave, listen. No, but Dave, on a serious note, what would you share from your experience with what you just described to a young male that might be facing the same type of dilemma? Hold on, Vic. I'm gonna hit a horse. Let's hit a horse. I want to hit a horse.
First of all, what we all understand in this room is this, right? And I was told this by my stepfather, one of the most, influential men in my life. What he told me is this. Right, my stepfather used to smoke a lot of weed. Good weed.
Good weed. Not just a lot of weed. Good weed.
Listen, Mom will give him $1,300 a month. $1,300 a month just for his weed.
Okay.
Right? He fucked the money up though. And she was like, nigga, if you smoke all that weed in this week, you gotta wait for 30 days. That's some more money. So rash that shit, nigga. And so he would be sitting there smoking weed and standing a handmade walking because he was an artist.
Okay.
And what he used to say to me, me and my younger brother, right? He dropped jewels. And he just said, listen, bro, nigga, if you walking down the street with a bitch, I'm sorry.
I'm like, look, our audience isn't
Okay, I'm sorry.
street artists.
If you were walking down the street,
Our audience is not a street audience.
Listen, I was trying to give you how he told me. I'm gonna give you PG shit though. Okay, I'm gonna give you PG shit.
There we go. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I'm not fucking up no advertising right now.
I appreciate it.
So what I'm saying, my dad Pop said, right? I'm paraphrasing. I have to curse he cursed a lot. But he said, if you are walking down the street with a woman
Got it.
and ain't nobody looking at her, nigga, what the fuck you you been affected? Okay.
I like that closing.
Okay. Why are you with her if nobody else wants her?
Okay. So let's get
Try
back
on this, nigga.
So let's get back on. So Dave, we're gonna get back on subject.
What's up, man?
What would you convey to a younger male that might be facing the same dilemma and has no advice?
Just be honest about who you are.
With whom? With themselves or with the woman?
Themselves, the people, yeah,
So with the-
people,
so-
the
so,
people, that is, the people, the women, or look, just be yourself. If you say you want to be with, you don't want to have a girlfriend, you say I don't want to have girlfriends. Period.
So I'm just saying a young man that might
Ain't
be.
nobody got the answers, man.
No,
You ain't got the answer, Sway. You ain't got the answer, Sway.
Listen.
You ain't got the answer, Sway.
No, listen. I'm serious, guys. Listen, honestly, people, listen.
But we're not looking for answers. We're looking for advice.
I know, but I don't think you can really give anybody advice for their own situation because at the end of the day,
But
you have to determine what is important to you.
Ren, but we're
Right,
saying
being
someone who
honest
might be
about
going
it.
through
Just
the
be-
exact
just-
same
but
thing.
being honest is what I
Just
mean.
be honest with
Being
yourself.
honest
Make
about
a
it.
So let me clarify. So you see someone doing the exact same shit you did. You just gonna step back and watch the plane crash?
Yes, because they're probably not going to listen to you anyway, man. Nobody wants to hear what you shit you got to say.
But what if they do?
It's very well. They will come to you. That's the
But
same
they
with
don't know
capoeira.
that. But they don't know they can come to you.
Yeah, here's
so
the
no,
thing.
listen. In Rich Mind's podcast,
Yeah.
people they might not know what they're gonna get from this podcast. I'm here to convey experiences and saying, hey, I went through this. For any listener that might be going through this, don't do it.
I got you.
Or do it.
I got you, man. The thing is, what I realized, once again, this is me, real. As I'm saying this, I'm going to tell y'all.
Let's keep it clean.
I don't know anything. I don't know shit. Right? But in my opinion, I think each of us are on our own time-space continuum.
Yes,
Agreed.
man.
Each
Star Trek that.
Right.
So Vic, if I say, listen, I went down Glendale Boulevard and for some reason they put a block wall at the end of it. Don't go that way. You should take a brand down the opposite way and make a left on Colorado and then go down this way. This is what this podcast is trying.
So with that information, I have to determine what you just provided. What value does that provide to my life right now?
Direction.
I have
direction.
to. But listen. So for example,
If you're traveling down brand,
but no. For example, me and my younger brother, who you guys my big nigga, right?
Big Lonnie.
Big Lonnie. Like we were in the car. It was me, my younger brother, my older cousin, right, and one of our best friends, right?
Got it.
We're in California, and this particular stretch of road, highway, it was Highway 5, right, going from
5 freeway.
Yeah,
The 5 freeway.
on the 5. But
San Diego to heaven, baby.
Right. But this stretch of highway was like between Modesto, right, and like Stockton, right?
Got it.
Right? So the speed limit was 70 on the highway. But also, it was in a valley, and there's a lot of crosswind, right? So like you can feel the car shaking. So the night before, we in the car, we doing donuts, we doing all kind of dumb crazy
Getting
shit.
hypey.
Oh man, you're right. They're just doing dumb shit before hype. This is like 1998. So on this highway, I heard this sound on my side of the car, and I'm like, and I said, hey guys, we have a blowout, right? Tires flat. When I finished that sentence, right, the front passenger tire in the driver's side, right, also went flat. And all I know is car swerving, right? And I'm like, oh shit. We're like, Lonnie, keep the wheels straight. He's like, okay. Lonnie, don't hit the brakes. All right. We're going sideways for about 50 feet. Okay? The car starts flipping. My cousin says, we're going over. And Lonnie's like, oh shit. All I saw.
Wait, Vic. Somebody said we're going over. Wait. Where were they going over to?
No, the motherfucker car getting ready to roll. That road's rolling. On the highway.
So somebody screamed this. Wait. So this happened while one side of the car went in the air.
Yes.
And somebody else. But wasn't it obvious? Were they saying the obvious?
Listen, I can't intellectualize this shit. Right? That's what the fuck happened. Right? We're going over. Oh shit. shit, right? And so the car's rolling on the highway. And all we see, sky, ground, sky, ground, sky, ground. Car landed on the side, flip back over. I get out, open the car door for everybody, right? And the crazy shit is, nobody was hurt. Lonnie had to act like he was hurt because his license was suspended. Because that nigga around was suspended license. He acted like he was hurt. And when the paramedic came, he was like, that nigga sitting there like he having a seizure and shit. That nigga went to flop. I was like, oh no, somebody save him. Save him. I knew that nigga was acting. That nigga had no license, right?
They said somebody save him.
Right. So what I'm saying is, on that same fucking road, right? We're going 70 and we roll on the highway. Nobody died. We laugh about it. On that same day, somebody got hit by a car. Somebody got into a car accident going slower and died. Right?
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, we are all on our own time, space, and continuum. Hold on. So in terms of advice, I have to experience it. Now you're going to give me your advice, right? And I'm going to take it with a grain of salt. I still have to be able to apply my fucking 4 billion variables even to your advice.
Have you heard a wise man seeks counsel? Have you ever heard that statement?
No, I've heard now.
Okay, so a wise man seeks counsel. So are you familiar with a radar detector? Remember those back in the day?
Okay, yes.
Okay, it alerts you to let you know, motherfucker, you better slow down because the police up here.
Yes.
So it's the exact same thing. Now, some people might ignore the radar detector, but a lot of people purchased it to listen to it.
But here's the thing.
Just like you might read a self-help book. Mm-hmm. Someone put the information out there, and a reader. But just hear me out. A reader got something out of this that they apply to their life, like the 48 laws of power, the 50 of laws of power, the art of war.
You are right. You are right. There are universal truths that can be accepted as universal truth because of thousands and millions of years of fucking civilization has taught us some certain things. But something that me and Gaviano talk about all the time, when you think about the Wright brothers and what they did.
I read it.
These guys were bicycle mechanics.
I read that.
They made bicycles. There was no such thing as aeronautics.
So they had no business fucking with
it. And there were mathematicians who were physicists who said that human flight will not be possible because of X, Y, and Z. Shit that the Wright brothers had no fucking, they were ignorant to. Why the fuck they ended up flying? It is because they were ignorant to why not.
But Vic, no one had any advice to give them at that point because they had not been.
But that wasn't. But the paper that those guys, the paper that the physicists and the mathematicians wrote, that was the advice. It was basically don't even try this shit, guys, because this is not scientifically possible.
So listen. So you have a math grade.
Yes.
You have a teacher.
Yes.
Everything you learn, you did not learn from that teacher.
Right.
But a lot you learned from the teacher.
Some I did.
And so listen. It's advice. Like Mr. Miyagi. Mr. Miyagi gave Daniel's son advice.
But understand that advice is not just information. Advice is you gotta put the advice with the fucking time period.
No, again,
I separate the two.
No, right? Listen, you're absolutely right. But I'm saying, Ren, out of how many students you said 4 were special? Out of 100.
Well, not special. Like you said, grow up. You said, yeah, if I watch from kids.
I'm sorry. Correction.
Yeah.
That they stuck with it.
Yeah, but I do have a lot more than these youth. I have a lot of adults who, like most other schools, have a problem with the students staying consistently training. I have a problem with students who are too consistent.
So here's a discussion Gaviano and I have constantly. Mm-hmm. Gaviano called me and said, man, I don't understand why so-and-so is like this and this. I said, listen, man, there's average and there's above average. There's scrapyard people. And I shouldn't categorize them because I don't want that to be negative, but I'm just saying some people are born to be a janitor. Some people are born to be a scientist. Everybody's role is important. Mm-hmm. So I'm not making fun and I'm not minimizing someone's role in life. Everyone's role is important to make this ecosystem of the human society of this first-class civilization work. So I'm saying with advice, when you put it out there, it's just like someone who wrote a book. It's the same thing. All them books up there you see, it's the exact same thing.
But you got to apply the advice to the time period.
No, you
have to.
That's up to the receiver.
And that's the thing about advice. Like the thing is,
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't let him drink. But you let free being to water.
The thing, bro, is I can take it or not take it. Sometimes for certain things, I need to fucking put my hand on a hot pot to feel, okay, you know what?
No, you're
this is why I need
absolutely
pot
right.
handlers.
And the advice makes sense after that.
You can tell me all day long.
No, you're
Don't
right.
touch the pot until you get hot.
I'm not. So here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that someone doesn't have to experience things. They don't have to put your advice to the test to see whether it's true or not. I'm not saying that.
Here's a perfect example.
But at least you put it out there.
So Mesha Maseko, right? His father, when his father, like master freaking like I'm gonna call him a building engineer. That's what he does, right? He can build houses.
Yes.
So he used to have it, I'm sorry, Master Maseko working with him as a kid, and he used to say, listen, put your hand here for a second.
He said, "Put your hand through where?"
Put your hand here for a second.
That's bad advice.
The man would touch it, right? He would get electrocuted. Like,
But that's not advice.
No, his father wanted him to know what getting electrocuted felt like.
Yes.
No,
So that he could
listen.
recognize it. So that way he would not fucking trivialize it and treat it like it's not important.
But Vic, I've never felt electrocution.
Right.
And I'm very afraid. I'm so precautious
And that's
not
your
to.
motherfucking problem. One day.
So listen, Gavion one day gave his parents advice.
Oh, right.
But but his dad is stubborn as just as he is. Okay, he got it from his dad, got it honest. His dad fought first. Gavion kept speaking. His dad became quiet. Immediately, his dad implemented the advice and received the positive results of the advice.
So I'm going to say something. To that point because
Okay.
we also talk about the same story, the same advice.
Got it.
Right. As a result, Gavion's father is reaping the benefits of said advice.
Right.
That he implemented.
But time out.
But he fought
No.
first.
No.
I was
What I am saying is, Gavion's father. Listen to me right now. And this is real shit.
I'm with you.
This is real shit for everybody in the audience listening, right? Had Gavion's father not fought for that advice, he would not appreciate the benefit that they're experiencing right now. Hold on.
Don't say the same thing.
Because in Gavion's mind, and in Gavion's father's mind, his father was saying, shit, I'm here and this is cool, but I could have did something else. So Gavion's father had to experience the pain of what the reality is
No, but
in the
the
real
pain
world versus
Vic,
his mind.
the pain was the advice.
No.
The pain was the advice. He was cool. No, Pops was cool. No, I was here.
The pain was not the advice.
Pops was cool as a motherfucker.
The pain was the realization.
What time the game come on?
No, the pain was the realization of what was in his mind. Didn't motherfucking add up in the real world. That was the pain.
But the advice helped him reach the point.
Yeah, but
And I get that. But what I'm saying is, if Gavion's father did not go through that, because before taking the advice, Gavion's father still tried it his way.
But he went through it in 75.
Look,
we in 2000. He went through it in 75.
If I can consolidate and distill what y'all trying to say, what's being said for the listening audience is this: in order to accept advice, sometimes you gotta go through the crucible. Sometimes you gotta go through the furnace.
But
no. But it shouldn't take that.
Hopefully.
But they're
but I'm saying sometimes results rejecting the advice might lead to death.
It could too.
Hindsight is always 20/20.
But you're dead.
That's
on the other side.
Wait. Yeah, absolutely. You are correct. But what the point that Vic is trying to make is this: sometimes the value of knowledge is not apparent.
Right.
So Malcolm X had to go through all that shit he went through from Michigan to New York to really understand the value of what Elijah Muhammad was trying to teach him.
But listen, Elijah Muhammad, he broke away from because he realized everything wasn't right.
He did.
And in the end, he didn't have that much.
He
die broke.
But see, here's the thing,
Yeah,
though, right? You cannot make it through this journey unscathed.
Wow. I'm not saying unscathed.
And I'm saying,
Listen.
even with the advice,
No,
you
I'm
gotta
saying-
get your scars.
No, but listen, I'm gonna tell you this. So let me tell you from my perspective. A friend of mine that we love dearly, everyone told him the information he got could not be true. It was a setup. He did not heed us. We found out on the news he was dead. You understand? My brother calls me and said, man, they found so and so dead. They found the other boy dead. It broke us. He did not have to go. We're telling him it does not make sense. He cannot come back and fix it. And I'm not saying every situation this applies to. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
And what I'm going to say to you is this, right? Your boy, your man, he had to get to that resolve on his own. And the unfortunate part is, you were right. It might lead to death. You might die by not heeding advice. But what I'm saying is, if you just take advice and just live your life on the advice, and the danger is that it can also be your prison.
You won't live no life.
It can be
So
your
if
prison.
a kid tells you, man, I ain't got no brakes in my car, I'm gonna drive this.
That's not
motherfucker.
advice. That's common sense.
No, I'm saying no.
You saying audience, for the listening audience, like that nigga's tripping.
No,
I love him,
but I'm
this
saying
nigga's tripping.
no,
Like,
but
common sense advice. We cannot melt the two.
Hey, I concur with you on that. I concur.
God damn, no. We're not talking about no crackhead shit. Like, we're talking about right? Listen, can we all agree that in this room, nobody is supposed to crack pipe?
if you don't have brakes in your car, don't drive.
Literally. You know, that's not advice. That's not advice. That's fucking common fucking sense. We all know that shit.
I mean, yeah,
Come on.
without insurance, do not drive. You're not registered.
$3,000 problem.
You know?
Right, don't drive.
Please.
Don't do it.
Please though,
You're
right?
going nowhere.
Right.
Fast.
We're not talking about that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying?
So do you guys recommend capoeira for young adults?
Oh,
Everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Everybody.
And you know what? I take that back. Not for everybody. You know why?
Try it.
I would say try it. But the people who want to get better at life will continue to do it, man, because it requires discipline. And that's how you become successful in life. It's discipline. Have an idea what you want to do. Be disciplined about it, and you'll get there. And the funny thing is, you'll find the right people along the way that you can attach to, and you can get advice from, Tony. And the advice is really good because they walk you the walk.
I agree.
Yeah, a lot of weird people out there, man. Some people don't want to hear shit from nobody.
No.
No,
I'm gonna tell you some stuff that we've had. No lie. Over the years with all the different interactions I've had, I remember I had a Caucasian person that came to class, and once I explained, and I teach at a university in the DC too. You know what I mean? I've learned how to, taper off the rhetoric.
Got it.
Especially trying to motivate people with that whole slavery story, wade in the water thing. Everybody is motivated by that.
Yeah.
Some people, I don't know, man.
No, but you're right.
Yeah. No, some people want to hear this shit.
Everybody's built different.
Yeah. No. So anyway, I remember I started telling the whole Afro-Brazilian pantheon and the whole story of, capoeira from all that black pride in me. Somebody wants to learn my capoeira. She left my class, when she left, she's like, I'm not going to come back. And I'm like, why? She's like, well, I don't want to be involved in no African stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. I had a black person whose
Because
mama,
it was a cultural specific.
Yeah, and her mama was like, why can't you do some ballet? Why you got to be doing this African shit?
Because it was cultural specific.
Yeah, she's like, it's sufferation shit. I want you to do something free.
Got it.
And so like people are weird. And so I agree with David that when I tell people about who you should talk to about coming to train capoeira or inviting them to share it with you, these people need to be seekers. We need to be seeking something. And some people ain't looking for shit. They don't need to be looking for shit.
Yeah. I mean,
You know what I mean?
I'm actually gonna say
I agree.
right. Like some people are already born on top, right?
Agreed.
And so for that person, they might not benefit see capoeira in this way.
Got it.
Right? But for the person that needs to know how to navigate this world,
Right.
Right.
Capoeira can help them find
a
it.
whole lot.
It can be their GPS.
Yeah, man. But for some people, it can become a burden.
You know
oh
that.
wow! Because I am of the class of people who are the fucking I'm cracking the whip, right? Shit, how do I feel about myself? So capoeira might make them feel bad, right? They should feel bad. They should feel
It's going to
guilty.
show them themselves and they might not be ready for it.
They might not want to know that.
It's the same thing for religion, honestly, guys. I never really speak about it, but here's the thing. Some people have to go to church. Some people need to go to church.
True.
You know, church is
helps.
good for some people.
For sure.
For me, it might not work. I have a different fellowship.
So,
Like when I was
so
at-
people
when
that
I
are
was in-
lost, what is your advice to them?
They gotta find some passion. They gotta
But
find.
they don't know where the fuck to go.
Listen,
Hold on, no.
Yeah.
I'm weird.
I'm gonna say this.
What does lost mean? How are they lost?
I'm gonna tell you this: people that are devoid of purpose,
Okay.
if they are allowed to continue on that path, they will continue that path until death and never reach their full potential.
saw one last night.
So when it comes to Erykah Badu has a song where she said it perfectly. She said, "What if there were no niggas, only master teachers? I'd stay woke."
But there's
That,
niggas.
so people sleepwalk through life, and then there are people that are awoke in life, right? In order for that awakening to happen, you need a master teacher. You need somebody to step into your life and explain to you
Right.
the significance of things
Right.
and the importance of living a purpose-driven life. That's what I'm saying.
In the past hold up, Vic.
Yeah.
In the past 2 months, Vice, how many people have come up to you asking you for help, instructions?
In the past 2 months of this 2019 year, I've had at least 6 people come up to me at my job asking me for advice.
So okay, you could. So at that point,
You know why?
Whoa.
Okay.
At that point, you couldn't offer none.
I could, and I did. No, what I'm saying is this. What I'm saying
What
is
did
that
you offer? Hold on. What
I
did
can
you?
give you examples. What I'm saying is
My
this.
man said no. But wait, my man said he needs you to help him. Blah blah.
Yeah.
You couldn't help him.
No,
So my man
no.
was sitting at the bar looking like
No,
He was.
no,
You told me he
no.
was in oblivion.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about other examples of people that have literally. No, I'm talking about people that have literally come up to me asking me, "Vice, I know you. You give good advice."
They said,
What
Vice,
you
how do
think
you
about-"
do it all, man? How do you do it?
Right? No, I'm not talking about those examples.
But no, but I'm talking. Those are the only ones I know about.
Yeah, but I'm about to drop on you some more. What I'm saying is that there are people that literally will come to me and say, "What do you think about this, Vice?" Because we were there on Thursday. It happened. The young Spanish cat that came up to me while we were talking and pulled me outside. Right?
Yeah, right. He wasn't
Right.
ready for that advice.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, he pulled me aside specifically outside to ask me a question. And this is what I'm talking about when we speak about guidance.
Take a
Everybody in life needs a guide at some point because the roadmap to life is not clear.
Agreed. That's what my whole point is.
So, and I'm agreeing with your point, but I'm saying,
So
if there
what I'm
no...
gonna say is, at the same time, so going back to the gentleman who sought the advice from Gavion.
Got it.
Gavion gave him the advice.
Several gentlemen.
But what I'm saying is, okay, that's it. That is Gavion's advice. It has nothing to do with whether or not it will come to pass.
Right.
No.
But you're leading them to water.
I mean,
It's up to them how they're going to drink.
what you're doing is you are giving them an option out of several. And you're giving them the option which has worked for you.
An option out of stagnation.
Yes, I'm giving you. So basically,
Optionality,
what I did to get past,
stagnation.
what I did to get past this particular thing, this is what I did during this time period, and it worked for me, right? It might not at all work for you. What a person really needs is to know that you can get past the shit.
Okay, guys, here's the thing.
Like so it does not have to be specific. It's not so much about a specific plan, but this is a plan that I use. That got me. What I'm saying is, whatever this thing is that is ailing you, you can also get past that. And my advice may help you. It may not help you. Hopefully, it doesn't hinder you. That's all I'm saying about it.
Okay, guys, listen. I'm gonna tell you this. It's so funny. Me and my wife sat down the other day. I know a lot of me and Izzo, Vic over here. Yes, we are lucky to be with a challenging female, strong alpha energy that makes her think. So we were sitting down talking about some real shit the other day, and some real shit that she was talking about was like personality things about us. We were just talking about each other in real, like things about you versus things about me. And I know at the end I'm gonna do something that you're probably gonna be like, fuck, you're gonna probably just laugh at this shit. But at the end of the day, she was explaining how she recognized that with me, I take pride in this, just diving into the unknown. You know, I sit back, and once I come up with an idea of what I'm gonna do, I'm going forward with it.
That's
I
a
can
personality
see,
trait.
right? But my wife needs shit to be laid out block by block. So she was saying my way gives her anxiety, but it gives me pleasure.
She's not a gambler.
Right. And but at the same time, I'm just saying, people gotta find which way works for them. What type of personality are you? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you might give me, for example, advice. Once somebody gives advice, stop fucking sitting around, man. You need to just be moving. You need to do something. Okay, I'm stuck. How you go stuck when you could go right, left, center, up, or down? You gotta go somewhere. Each path is an adventure, and there's enlightenment that's gonna come out of that adventure. No, each path is the right path. As long as you do something. Each one is the right path.
It's a multiple choice question.
Yeah.
No.
Multiple choice.
That's the problem. The problem is when you try to confine definition by certain parameters. No, man. This shit is free form as possible. As fuck. Like, in Measurement Cycle's point, him being freewheeling and dealing like fucking seat of the fucking pants have a pipe motherfucker. That's also amazing. But his wife being a planner is also amazing.
Yes.
So the fact that they both
Let me tell you this.
So why are those two people who are so opposite attracted to each other?
But Vic,
Why?
no,
Think about that.
Vic,
Think about why
you know
a motherfucker
Gavion.
who's way over here and a woman who's way over there, and they're attracted.
Gavion.
What is that?
Gavion.
Action.
Insanely
Action.
smart.
Action.
Whoa. Gavion is insanely smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, he calls me one day. He says, "Man, I'm in a dilemma. Which one do I pick? This one or that?"
He knew what he was going to do already.
No, he did not. But Ren, that's subjective. Hold on, whoa. Listen.
I'm with Mesri on that.
I didn't know, man. You can't tell me my own mind.
Listen, the man called me.
You always know.
No, listen.
I'm not crazy. It's all good.
No, he called me seeking my advice. Right? At that particular point, what he was asking me advice on, I didn't want no parts of. Okay? I didn't want, because certain advice, I don't want to be the one to blame for. And I'm not saying he will blame me, but I'm just saying I want this decision to be solely his. Now, I guided him in the best of my ability. I still gave him advice. And I said, follow your heart. That was my advice. My advice wasn't what I thought of this and what I thought of that. My advice...
But even with that though, even with following his
that
heart,
was important to him.
following his heart could have led him to oblivion. Right?
But
So
I'm
what
here. But I'm here to
advice
though.
But what I'm saying is this. He could have followed his heart and chose the wrong one.
Have your wife ever asked you, I don't know what to pick. Do I pick the steak or do I pick the chicken?
Listen, man.
What do I pick?
So for my female listening audience,
First thing that comes to my mind. No lie.
for my female listening audience, I'm going to say this, right? And it was taught by my father. I'm talking about step pops, right? Step pops taught me this. He said, son, the woman who chooses you, because women choose us, right? They create the opportunity for us to not fuck it up with our mouth, right? But a woman chooses you, right? So my stepfather told me, he said, son, the woman who chooses you, there must be some quality about you that causes her to be enamored with you. She must look up to you somehow, some way.
But Vic,
No. If she doesn't, she's gonna leave you for a nigga who she will.
so Vic, two women chose Dave.
2
Two women chose Big Dave. So that's his dilemma.
No.
It's about your choice. It's not their choice.
No. So
It's David's choice.
He just said it was
what
gonna
I'm
be their
saying
choice. He got two that choose them.
So here's the thing.
Yeah, two that choose them.
No. Here's the thing.
both.
Here's the thing.
I think
When you
David's
were,
life is slated to have, like more like a harem-based thing.
but here's the thing.
No, I'm saying this
When
David.
you are unemployed.
No.
I'm talking about King David.
So here's the
No,
thing.
our
Here's-
David
so
right
here's the
here.
thing. Here's the thing. When you are unemployed,
King
the
David.
hardest thing, when you are unemployed, the hardest thing to get is a job. Because I have no third party to validate whether or not you will come in every day. Right? When you are single,
What you
no.
do?
When you're single, the hardest thing to get is a girlfriend. Because if nobody else ain't with you, who's my references to validate that you can fucking hit this pussy? If you can fucking goddamn.
Let's keep it clean, man.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a little older. All I'm saying is you need references. You need people who can vouch for you. So what I'm saying is, in Dave's particular perspective, not only is he a beautiful brother, right? But he had a girlfriend at the time, and the girlfriend validated that yes, out on the outside looking in, he's beautiful, but he's also beautiful enough to be in a relationship with. That is what caused the other woman to even more be even more enamored.
I feel you there.
So
That's a lot of validity.
Well, it's not so much that they both chose him at the same time. Now he has to choose. He chose one, and then the other one chose him.
Got it.
Now I gotta figure out what the hell.
Got it.
I'm trying to see. Do I want peaches today or do I want apricots?
Peaches, please.
Well, I want to thank everybody for coming on the show today. What's your name? David.
David, yeah.
We have Big Vic.
Word up.
We have Vice.
Vice, aka Gavion, aka the lover man. Yaba.
And we have Ren.
AKA Contramestre Musego.
Hey, Contramestre.
He's
gonna knock everybody out.
He has a lot of, listen, y'all didn't, listen, one more thing before I wanted to say this about he has had a lot of, as in Vic has had a lot of,
Turmoil?
no, experience testing. No, experience with testing capoeira. The craziest story I have about him testing capoeira was, he was just experiment. He would just walk around and just like throw a chisora, which is a scissor takedown on people. And he threw the scissor takedown on this dude.
On a random guy.
On a student.
Okay,
school,
okay.
And broke the kid's leg. No.
Why am I not surprised?
I know.
And so, in terms of like whether capoeira works or not, he can tell you that it does work in a lot of different ways. Lethal in many different ways.
We believe his testimony. We believe it.
So just there's a lot of stories out there. But in terms of like capoeira, there's way more to it. We can't stop talking about it because we haven't stopped the narrative about it yet. We're still yet discovering stuff about it. I'm still.
What's the information on your academy?
Yeah, it's capoeiradc.com. That's my website. We have a Facebook page. It's Capoeira Malês DC. We're on Instagram. Same thing. Capoeira Malês DC.
Capoeira Malês.
Yeah, MALES DC. What else is there other than Instagram?
Usually Capoeira DC. But one thing I want to say, for the listening audience, like
We're just trying to wrap this up.
I know. I'm trying to pull my mic and shit. No, but real quick, like all of us are kings in our own right, and we're great at different things. The power of what we did when we came together is we all were willing to put ego aside and play a role.
Yes.
And in the creation of something great. And not many people can do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we did. And that's why these brothers are beautiful. Because we all had the ability to say, you know what, no. This what we're doing is bigger than us. Even though we're gonna be the shit in the motherfucker, right? But what's gonna be even more than shit are gonna be what we're gonna create from what we're doing by being together. So really, like, your ability to put ego aside and say, you know what, I'm gonna fall in line as a soldier and wave the flag. That can be really very great for your life. That's advice. It may work or will not work for you, but in our situation, it works. And I'm just saying,
Yeah. Gavion, your academy information?
It is Capoeira LA.com.
That's it. No
That's it.
IG.
No IG, no Facebook, not yet. After this event, yes.
Well, people, we'd like to thank everybody for tuning in, and I hope we could have been your source for information, inspiration, or maybe just a smile. And I thank you very much.
Word up.
Peace.
Hey,
I share.
Big ups to you, Tony Tone. We appreciate you, brother.
Thank you. I
My
appreciate you
man.
all.
It's
Yeah,
a
man.
great thing, bro. Keep
Bro,
doing
keep
what
doing
you're
it.
doing, bro.
We
Thank you
support you,
much.
man.
I'm inspired.
I appreciate it.
I think I should do a podcast. My man.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.